And we're live!
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Night Legacy stream at Mox Boarding House Ballard. I'm Jake McCune, joined this Monday by Patrick Michael Daly. Welcome
That's me.
to the booth, Patrick. How are you doing
It's
today?
great being here. It's a great day. The sun is out. It is
Yeah,
bright.
intermittently.
It is
Comes and
mild.
goes.
It is mildly rainy.
Yep.
And we're here to watch some Legacy. So
Yes,
it's a great
indeed,
day.
we are. We're just starting round one, and our players should be getting down to the camera, so we'll be shooting it down there and updating the overlay as we speak.
We do need. Oh, I need to get our sheet
Yeah,
back so we
look.
know.
I can tell. So it's
We've
going to
got
be
Tom
Tom
and
on the
Tim.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom Lynch versus Tim Wilder. These are two mainstay players. And Patrick got a little scoop about what Tom Lynch is playing before the tournament started. Tell us a little bit about that, Patrick.
Yeah, he was telling me he's playing a deck that's called The Fear. It's got some history apparently within olden days of ye old legacy. Not that I'm familiar with, but the core of the deck is Intuition, Life from the Loam, Dark Depths, and Thespian Stage.
It feels like, am I not mistaken in that this is what lands used to do once upon a time? Play Intuition and run blue? Is that a thing?
Probably? Like, it makes
I don't know.
sense.
Yeah.
Like, this strategy seems to sort of make sense, that the goal is you just Intuition for each of those other three cards, Dark Depths, Thespian Stage, and Life from the Loam. They give you one of them, and then you can use, no matter what combination of those three cards they give you, you'll be able to assemble your combo in 1 to 2 turns.
Yeah, and Tim Wilder most likely on Grixis, though not entirely sure. Oops. Get that back.
Just wiggle it again and it'll, or that.
Yeah, that's chill.
All right.
All right, so yeah, Tim Wilder most likely on Grixis here. We'll see if he surprises us this week, though. That's why we'll wait for confirmation on deck choice. Big Grixis pilot was a big Czech pile pilot before that in the format. Excited to see Tom Lynch play something that is not show and tell, though.
Yeah, if he's pulling a fast one on me and just playing Sneak and Show again, I'll be a little bit upset. But
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
But it'll still be a good match.
So Tom Lynch used to play like really silly decks, and for a while he was playing like Greg Delver. And the first time he played Show and Tell, so at that point this would be like 2 years ago or something. It was like hit a weekly, and I spent the first 2 turns begging him on Delver, and that he was just like cantripping and not finding anything, and then he just completely blew me out. It was really funny. And then he became known as the guy who only plays that deck.
Well, he's good at it.
Yeah. I see a Tarmogoyf, I see a Lightning Bolt, I see islands, basic islands. Yeah, this is the setup. Kind of crazy. Now I can't remember the sleeve color. We literally might have 2 copies of this deck in the room tonight.
Yeah.
So I swear I saw. So we have Leo Zeckler back in the house as Tom cast his ponder here. Local player of ours who went out to New Zealand and is back 5.5 some odd months later. So he's back playing Legacy because he's in Seattle.
Nice.
Hello to our 2 viewers. Apparently, I have not checked numbers. You might be early. We literally just started.
Yeah, you caught us right at the beginning. You get to see the full match.
Yeah.
Tim with that flooded strand, looking at his options.
Oh, is he playing Miracles here?
Yeah, I saw a lot of blue in the hand. I think there were at least 2 Force of Wills, so I'm willing to bet yes.
Preordain.
Yeah. Brainstorm, Preordain. Yeah, that's not looking like.
I'm gonna write
Grixis.
Miracles.
Maybe Miracles question mark.
We'll just adjust it on the fly as we go.
We'll see. All right, and there's the Goyf from Tom. It's a small Goyf, but still a Goyf.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. 2-3 on turn 2 isn't the worst thing you can have, though. So.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, so Tom was mentioning that a lot with this The Fear deck is that it plays like standard sort of rug control until it's got the combo win with Intuition. So we can be expecting to see some grindiness. Probably, I'm assuming he's got. I see a Wasteland in hand, and if he's running Loam, he's got the Waste Loam lock. He's probably running P-Fire package as well.
This feels like it's a much more traditionally, I guess, like classic version of like a lands deck. I guess you have the Tarmogoyfs too, so you're not just like a control combo deck. You kind of have this beatdown plan as well in the main. But yeah, kind of, just definitely a mixed bag strategy or like a mid-range combo type deck, I guess, which Legacy is a little bit lacking right now.
Yeah.
There isn't a deck that plays a good mid-range game that could also kind of win with a combo like Alurin used to be when Deathrite Shaman was legal. I think that was kind of the de facto. Food Chain is a little bit like that now, but was also a deck that got crippled by the banning of the Deathrite Shaman. So
Yeah. So Tim there just predicted Ponder off of his top. Drew into now a second Force of Will. Taking the Goyf, thinking about it. I don't think he's got a sword. It's good bluff though.
Oh, this is just a true name deck as well.
Yeah.
So Tim is going to be well prepared. Get rid of that preordained with the Force. Up to 14 or 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom without. Oh no, he's got the Vulcan hand.
Yeah.
Cool. He's set up.
He's pretty
Tim
ready.
still has to deal with this Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, that only keeps on growing. Though I think it's pretty capped. And there's the swords he was looking for.
Yeah.
So it's the best bet.
It's one of the reasons Tarmogoyf is not quite the powerhouse card that it used to be, right? Even in
modern.
In modern, yeah, sort of like Path to Exile has a similar effect. Well, I guess Fatal Push is also another reason Tarmogoyf is no longer the big bad boy.
Yeah.
But in Legacy, there's always been Swords to Plowshares, right? So even though it is a powerful creature, it dies to the best removal spell.
That it does.
Tom figuring out what land to play for the turn here.
Yeah. It's got choices.
Yeah, I guess he's thinking about wasting Tim off of red, and then what? Is that a Brainstorm? Is that a Jace Brainstorm?
Yeah. Wasting off of the red is actually, I think, pretty good here.
Oh, that's a Life in the Loam. Okay, that's one of them new schmancy Life in the Loams.
Yeah.
Cool. Box topper status from Tom Lynch over here.
And the Jace style Brainstorm.
Yeah, I mean, if you can expect one thing from this boy, it's
style.
Fancy cards.
Oh, okay, fancy cards. That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, although he does have the bright, colorful shirt right now.
It's true. It's true. It's got the snap in hand. There's not really. I mean, you can snap. Oh yeah, he already played a land this turn.
Yeah, you did.
Come on, Tom. There we go, Tom. Okay.
Yeah, he goes, wait a second, I'm playing with Life in the Loam.
Welcome to Casual REL.
Yeah, I mean, a good note. It is quite literally a casual REL event. These players are quite good, but they're also playing on Monday night after work and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Ponder for Tim Wilder.
Digging deep, looking for some sort of threat to try and put some pressure on Tom here. He's got a lot of answers, but not a whole lot he's got going on himself.
Pretty typical Miracles game.
Pretty much.
And Tom has, put forth threats and had them dealt with and kind of twiddling his thumbs over there with a lightning bolt and some lands. Not a ton to do yet, but that just gives Tim more time to stock up on all these answers, right?
Yeah, so Tim's probably looking for Monastery Mentor or Jace.
Perhaps, yeah. We don't even know what kind of build he's on, With these predicts, he might be on a more...
Entreat package?
Yeah, like Entreat plus Teferi or something like that, where it's just like...
What is that?
The slowest of rolls.
What is that Tom just hit the graveyard? Is that the predict?
That's Intuition, right?
Oh, that's Intuition?
Yeah. Isn't that the right card? Or
I mean, that's I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, I know that card, and I know what it does. I know
what Intuition does. I'm just...
Hit one, and then enter. Boom, baby.
Yeah, that is Intuition. Okay, yeah. It just looks strange from the side.
It's funny. Tom obviously plays this card in the Omniscience Show and Tell build, where you usually use it to find 3 copies of the same card.
Yeah.
However, with Life in the Loam in this deck, you basically use it to find 3 different lands, and it doesn't matter which one your opponent picks to go to your hand, you're going to get them all back.
Yeah, and now he's got, as we mentioned, Tom has been sitting on a Snapcaster for a while.
Yeah.
So now he can snap Intuition.
Yep.
To kick off his combo.
Yeah, definitely try to find the lands that he needs. The problem is also that the 2020 plan is quite mediocre against Tim's deck.
Yeah.
He does have the 4 Swords Plowshares, presumably like 3 Snapcaster Mages, perhaps. a number of ways to deal with the 2020,
Yep.
and obviously the ability to grind as well. So
Also
Tom
sitting.
could make infinite 2020, so it's possible that is like Tim does ultimately lose in the grind, you know.
Mhm.
But I don't know if that's the best way for Tom to try to win. Is what I'm saying. Making 2020s in this game.
No, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
The other big option here is how quickly Tim picks up what's happening.
Yeah.
So the intuition for these three is not a usual. Oh yeah, just force the snap. That does it.
Yeah, he's not going to get a chance. And
Yeah.
Tim's smart. He knows where he needs to pick his battles. And yeah, he's a good control player.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Lock off the
There's
snap.
an EE in his hand too.
Yeah,
looks like
he's been sitting on an EE since the very beginning of the game.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that kind of does make me think this is like the grindier, maybe no mentor build in the main version of Miracles. It just loads up on removal and plops down to Jace and then plops down to Teferi, and like you just can't really play Magic after that against your opponent.
Well, I guess we'll get a nice long match then.
Yeah.
Going for the second snap here for Tom.
It's a pretty good one for him to have. He's running out of cards if he's going to Force of Will this again, which is kind of the position that Tom needs to get into.
Yeah.
Tim Weiler really thinking about this one.
Yep, Force Pitch and Spell Pierce.
Okay.
The right choice.
Yeah, I think so. You have to fight Tom on this kind of axis. You can't let him just play his cards.
Yeah.
He's
Two
the,
Brainstorms
he's
and a
the
Force.
aggro deck that wants to be doing this. That's a pretty good one for Tom. If he gets any, yeah, it's like good backup for that loam when if he wants that to resolve.
Yeah.
And here we go with the Life of the Loam. Probably just the one land? Oh, no,
Well,
two,
there's a
three
couple
lands.
lands. And the Wasteland's still in there.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah, when he dredged Loam the first time, he hit 2 lands and Intuition.
Got it.
Really good Loam hits.
Oh man, that's kind of cool, dredging with your Snapcaster deck. Very, very fun. Ooh, what is this one? What is that card?
Oh,
Wait, what?
is that Accumulated Knowledge?
Oh, you know what? It probably is. It's probably a new version of Accumulated Knowledge. That's absolutely correct. Masters 25. Yeah.
Nope.
No. Oh, you're right. This is the old art.
Huh. I'm going to go see what that card was.
Yeah, go check.
Mostly because I really want to know.
Your thing
Yeah.
Take it off. Yeah, that is probably a very simple card or something that we know exists. It was just a weird art, but that is definitely not a thing I recognize on site. We'll wait for Patrick to bring us the update. Wow, look at all those basics that Tom Lynch has access to in this deck. That's gonna be one of the main reasons that this deck is fun to play. It's like a mid-range deck where you're just not really ever gonna get wastelanded out of the game, probably. Alright. More Life in the Loams. Alright, so what was the...
It's Accumulated Knowledge.
Okay, just a different art than what we saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an Accumulated
I mean, he did
Knowledge.
pay 2 mana to draw 1 card there, so that makes sense, right?
And then-
I figured.
And then cast another one, it looks
Just
like.
confirmed, yeah.
Based on the preliminary scouting report of the field, seems to be a lot of Death and Taxes out tonight.
Oh, okay. It's like we're back in. It's just Seattle's back to its old good self again. Then.
Yeah. And there's the Jace.
Aha. See.
Tim finally trying to get in the driver's
But
seat.
Tom
of this match.
did ponder into that Force of Will, right? So, is he gonna fight here? Because Tim is out of gas. He's spent his forces.
Yeah.
Brainstorm first. Reasonable.
Yeah.
Tom's gonna get all these cards and figure out which ones he wants to hide, which ones he's okay pitching to a Force of Will.
The other option that Tom has here is letting it resolve and then just bolting it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Letting it be a 4-mana Brainstorm.
Because then he has a yeah, it's not the worst in the world if you really want to kind of get the best equity out of your brainstorms. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
Although with Tim at 12, I don't know. Yeah. Because if you go for the Force and Tim forces back, then you can bolt. You know what I mean?
That's
I wonder where Tom's thinking goes along that line of that kind of decision tree. I certainly don't know the correct path, but that is a tree there that you have to kind of think through.
Yeah. There's also the other option, knowing that Tom is playing a deck with lots of Snapcasters, so
Right.
it seems that
Right.
Bolt Snap Bolt on the face is also.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's just 2 Bolt Snap Bolts away from victory.
So he didn't go for the bolt into turn there or anything like that.
No.
Now he's got so much to think about and a lot of options.
Yeah. Being able to just hold up that wasteland is super great.
What's it called? A burst lightning? Is that the one? No,
that's just
fork bolt. Fork bolt.
Fork Bolt.
Yeah, in his hand. So that's 3 to the Jace right there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the cleanest way to deal with a Jace for 1 mana, right? Just bolt it after the Brainstorm.
I think I just saw a Snapcaster in Tim's hand. Yeah, he's got a Snapcaster, Terminus, a Counterbalance. No, that's just Counterspell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ponder.
that's the Jace Counterspell.
Spell Pierce lands. Tom is good on lands.
Yeah, especially like a Wasteland. He doesn't really need another one right now.
And his library is getting pretty light too, just considering the number of cards he's dredged and or drawn.
That said,
he churned through.
That said, he's still only hit the 1 Intuition so far.
Yeah, there's another Wasteland. Wow. Just super. I wonder what the land count is. I'm sure there's a lot of lands in this deck, right? Like, just even considering the number of duels and basics on the table right now. But Tom Lynch is maximum flooded right now.
Yeah. At least he can hard cast that force.
Right. So does he want to fight over the snap?
I mean,
I guess it's not.
Yeah, the options is he gets back AK. That's about it.
And that's going to be for just 2 still, right? No, it is 3. Okay.
3, yeah.
Wow.
Monastery Adventure, though.
Flush with cards is Tim Welder right now. Meanwhile, Tom Lynch just flush with lands. Look at those 4 Wastelands in his hand. That is absurd.
He's got all 4? Oh my god. I saw the 2, but
no.
Now there's where you get the 4
Just 4 dead ones. Complete duds.
Oh.
I know, this is rough.
It'll serve him well against some of the other matchups tonight, but
and it's only game 1 too, you know? Like, this is a long one, but I think we're getting close to a choke point for Tom Lynch here.
Yeah.
I don't know of too many reasonable outs. Oof, we're just casting EE to get the tokens. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think Tom Lynch is like, hold on, I'm going to draw 1 more card and see, and then I'm probably going to fold. You don't even have to put the token out. It's chill. So
2 bolts up top.
Wow. Okay.
That changes the math a lot.
Yeah, this is super real now.
Quick.
Yeah, this is pretty real. It's rough. Yeah, he's got to try to go for this.
Yep. The Forked Bolt picking off 2 of them and then trying to bolt there.
That's so hard though, because just any spell from Tim is just such a brutal response. Yep. So Bolt goes on the stack. Bolt goes on the stack, probably targeting the Mentor now.
Yes. The Bolt is going after the Mentor.
Yeah, and this is a real heads up from Tom. It's going to force Tim to just play out his hand, which I mean, I think is still going to ultimately favor Tim if he's got all these 1-mana spells he can cast. So he's saying, okay, this is targeting. It has 3 power. I'm going to swords. What is he swordsing itself? No, it can't be right. He's got to be swordsing something else.
He's swordsing the Monastery Mentor?
Interesting.
Yep, he's swordsing his own Mentor.
Oh, you know why? Because he's going to win with tokens. That's super smart, I think. Yeah. He has 3 prowess tokens to win the game with at this point.
The other good option is he could have swords that first token.
Sure. I was kind of thinking that would maybe be the case.
Because the Monastery Mentor has prowess itself and makes more tokens, and I think is slightly bigger.
I think Tim is sniffing out the bolts from the bolt plan from Tom.
Yeah.
You know, he clearly watched Tom put those cards back with that ponder that he made, and then proceeded to watch Tom get super aggressive with these red spells, right? I think he knows exactly that I think he probably values the life gain from the Mentor a little bit, and then knows that he only needs a few cantrips off of these 3 prowess dudes to really just win the game in a couple turns.
Yep.
Oh, he has another Mentor in hand too. That's why.
Oh, that's also why. Okay, that would be the other.
Yeah. That'll do.
That makes so much more sense then.
Indeed.
And there it is.
Yeah.
And the counterbalance. Looks like you could be swinging in for 6, maybe 9. Is that a back to basics in hit? Yeah. Main deck back to basics. All right.
I mean, that's a thing for sure.
It's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
So Tim getting to swing in for 9 now off of that, with 5 tokens up.
Yeah. A valiant effort from Tom Lynch, but I
Yep.
think we might want to get a move on with the game 2 here.
Probably. Yep, there we go. Into game 2.
Tim Wilder up 1 against the Fear.
Yes,
I'm
the
gonna
Fear.
do a quick.
Quick little bit of Googling on that.
Well, yeah, I think I'm just gonna type Legacy the Fear and hope that the first hit is a source thread, and then we'll see if we can go from there.
Yeah, because I was telling him that a sensible name for it would have been Intuitive Lands,
Right? That's.
but I was quickly corrected to be known
Oh man!
that there
turns
is
out.
a different deck.
Turns out. Legacy the Fear, you need something more than that in a Google search to bring up Magic cards.
MTG Legacy the Fear.
Yeah. Whoops. That's so funny.
Family Store, man.
No,
Family
sometimes
Store.
I Google Magic stuff. No, not even bad
Oh, yeah,
things.
yeah.
Just like sometimes I'll Google complete. I'll be like looking for a Magic card. And I'm like, right, that's just a random word. Right.
Yeah.
It's the Fear. Very cool. MTG first. I already Googled it.
Nice.
I like it.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Here's the thread from the source or from Salvation.
Of course.
Yeah, Intuition, Life in the Loam. So yeah, this obviously was printed before the Dark Depths stage combo, so it was an Academy Ruins Volrath Stronghold Loam deck instead.
Oh.
Yeah, with Sensei's Divining Pop, Engineer Explosives, Vidalcan Shackles. And funnily enough, only 1 copy of Life in the Loam in this list. Oh, it was a counterbalance deck too.
Of course.
So this is like clearly maybe not exactly Tom Lynch's version, but the spiritual
successor.
Yeah. The spirit. Tom Lynch is playing the spiritual successor to this deck, which I guess is just an intuition dot deck, really, with a engine.
Rug Intuition Loam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Huh. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I love looking at the history of Legacy, man. It's pretty interesting. Just like 2008 decks, 2009 decks. Like I was not even playing the game Magic at that point in my life.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see like what it was like back then.
Oh yeah, I remember when I stumbled into my first Legacy event. I'd never played before.
Wow.
And I'd played Magic before.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You hadn't played Legacy.
Never played Legacy before. Didn't really understand like the power level of things.
Yeah.
I brought my first deck I played back in high school, which was just a stupid elves deck.
For sure.
Not even like the good elf deck where you just like combo out to a ton
just
of mana.
kind of all the green guys you had at the time, sort of thing.
Yeah, I started playing back in Scourge and Onslaught. So it was just, all right, I've got Well-Wishers, I've got Heedless Ones, I've got Timberwatch Elves. I'm just going to make big dudes and swing. Like, that's the game plan. And I went up against Merfolk. And I will say...
Everyone has a fun time, right?
I mean, I've played against a lot of opponents that have gotten salty with me playing weird stuff.
Of course.
That might have been the saltiest player because I could just keep gaining absurd amounts of life every turn. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just gain like 12. And they could not keep up. They got 1 game, and then we went to time, and they were very upset with me.
That's amazing. That's a perfect origin for you in this format.
Yeah.
Patrick, for those of you listening at home, you may or may not know Patrick plays a lot of weird decks here at our weekly tournaments.
It's true.
He is for sure that guy in the room when anybody shows up who hasn't been here before and gets paired. All of us in the know can kind of snicker and know that person's in for a good treat.
Yeah, last week, if you watch the past broadcast from last week, you'll see me in round 1 absolutely getting demolished because I tried to play a Shared Fate deck.
Yeah, dude. That was the first deck I ever saw you play when I started playing. That was like almost 4 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yep, getting there.
Nowadays, I only bust it out like for April Fool's Day and for Halloween.
That's so fun.
It's a twice-a-year deck. It's really good against miracles and really terrible against everything else.
I do love the art on that card. It's very distinct.
So
yeah, you don't get too many Magic cards that are like very up-close faces like that. Almost portrait-esque art.
Yeah. If money was no object, I would get my playset of Shared Fates altered.
Ooh,
so that
very cool.
One of the faces would be my face, and the other face would be like silvered.
Yeah, like
so
a
it would
mirror.
look like a mirror.
Yeah, mirror finish. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
All right, players looking for... Oh, no, Tom Lynch is going to 6. Going to 6 is Tom Lynch.
I think he only had 2 lands out of that, and they weren't really on color.
Mm.
Reasonable reason to mulligan.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did see him pull in some surgical extractions.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Um,
trying to think about sideboard cards, but like this is such a weird matchup, and I have no idea what Tom Lynch would be playing in his sideboard anyway.
Yeah.
From Tim's end of it, I mean, really, like what you already know you're playing against a Tarmogoyf creature deck. You already know you're playing against an Intuition deck. I don't know, even know what Tim is concerned about out of the board from this deck. I feel like he can probably play his main deck still. He's up a game. I'm sure he brought in cards. Like we see a Pyroblast here.
Yeah,
Just
I was gonna say-
perfect, easy catch-all, right?
Yeah.
Obvious one. But yeah, I don't even think he needs any particular like hate in this matchup.
If I saw a Goyf, I would probably bring in some graveyard hate. Ooh, Tom's still stuck on one land, it looks like.
Perhaps, yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, what does Miracles have in that category, right? Like, there's just a surgical deck. I think
Yeah.
still everyone's a surgical deck at this point. Like, we're almost reaching a point in the format where nobody really plays Rest in Peace anymore. Like, you'll see it in Death and Taxes list, but it's like, how often is that actually resolving, right? Like,
Yeah.
even I don't know. I play Death and Taxes, and I feel like the card is almost a trap because the decks that are concerned about the graveyard are going way faster than turn 2.
Yeah.
More often than not.
That's why you got to go for the ley lines.
Yep.
It's the new hotness.
Yeah, Leyline surgical or bust, basically. I'm not surprised, especially with the Phoenix decks. I think ley lines are very in vogue right now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tim still playing only basics. Just another way that he is pretty well advantaged against this deck at the outset, right? Like Tom Lynch's deck is a deck that wants to prey on the ability to play Wasteland multiple times, and Tim's deck just doesn't really care that much.
Yeah, maybe if I was Tom, maybe take out 2 of the wastelands. I don't know if he's got any utility lands in the sideboard.
Yeah, I have no clue.
But yeah, if there were utility lands, I'd swap those in instead of wastelands.
I mean, sometimes you can even shave. You can shave a wasteland in a matchup where you feel like you don't. Like he flooded so hard last game, right?
Yeah.
Like that, especially as a psychological impact, may make you shave a land in your sideboarding decisions, right?
But here we have the opposite, where he had 1 land and then Brainstorm locked himself for those 3 turns there.
Yeah, this is a goof of 2 games from Tom. I'm sure he'll joke about it later. He's well aware of the randomness inherent in Magic the Gathering, and sometimes you just get kind of crushed on the end of it.
Oh yeah, he did tell me, hey, make sure I get on stream before my deck starts sucking. And,
I've gotten really used to keeping 2 land hands on Arena and just like never drawing a land.
Oh yeah, happens
super frustrating.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. And I just like now I look at 2 land hands and I'm like, can I even trust this? Like, is this good? When all the cards are dynamite or whatever, it's like, nah.
Yeah, we've got 6 different people on Death in Texas here tonight.
Good lord. Well, I'm glad I didn't bring my copy to loan out.
Yeah.
Because we don't need more of that. Quite a bit of folks, though.
Oh, yeah. Good showing about, where's the numbers? This one doesn't have the numbers. I don't want to count.
Yeah, it's for those of you at home, we have a hand spotter.
Yeah.
So it's just our TO running around and like physically, literally looking at what everyone's playing and making a best guess estimate. So, for the most part, it's fairly easy to do if you're knowledgeable with the format. But if you see some weird stuff like Tom Lynch's deck over here, you may not know what to write down necessarily, and you'll write your best guess.
Yeah. Especially also, I caught him when I was going to see the accumulated knowledges, and he's like, is there another deck out there that looks like Death and Taxes but isn't?
Maverick.
Yeah, maybe Maverick.
I mean, that's the immediate answer to that question. And I saw that he pegged Miranda Keith on D&T, and I was like, interesting. But, I mean, she does play that deck as well. She's traditionally a Maverick player and usually would bring that.
Yeah, so
that
maybe,
might,
that might be.
She's even played green, white Death and Taxes for fun before. So.
Yeah. There's someone bouncing around with a red-white Death and Taxes list here for a while, which is good.
That used to be much more of a thing before Old Recruiter, or before the new Recruiter got printed. Because it can just as easily find the Magus of the Moon. But like playing the Magus of the Moon is kind of not even that worth it these days, I don't think.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jace comes down for Tim Wilder.
Tim's second Jace, actually, while we were gabbing. He played a Jace, got to get Jace destroyed. Tom answered with a True Name Nemesis, which got Pyroblasted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, we're kind of back to where we were about 2 turns ago.
Yeah. I mean...
Loam? Is there... Oh, yeah, the fetch.
Yep, just get the loam in the yard, get your land back. It's a tiny bit of, I guess, whatever, equity, not even value.
Yeah.
And hope to keep playing this game. But I mean, counterbalance plus Jace. The cool thing is that, like, Loam doesn't really care that much about countermounts. I guess you kind of want to get lands back, but as long as you're dredging, you're still accomplishing sort of a goal that you have with your deck, and you're still putting a lot of pressure on Tim to always have a 2 instead of something else, right? So, shoof.
That feels rough.
Wait, did he flip the? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he flipped. He was casting Ponder, and in response,
That was okay. So that's what it was. I missed that it was in response to the Ponder.
Yeah.
Very nice on Tom Lynch's behalf, or on Tom Lynch's
timing
effort
there.
there. Yeah. Yeah, you got to find your windows to deploy some of these answers in Legacy, because otherwise, the shields can be up at any given time. I mean, the shield's right on the table. It's counterbalance, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. You know what you have to beat, and so you try to beat it.
So we're counting accumulated knowledges. We'll see.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Counterspell, Mentor,
And I think
and
AK.
another AK.
Yeah, which is going to draw like 4 cards, 3 cards.
3 cards.
Yeah, 3 cards.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
Tim once again gaining solid control of this match.
I know this is not a, it's not for as cool of a deck as Tom Lynch is playing right now. This is not an ideal matchup at all. This is really kind of where Miracles
shines.
Yeah, like mid-range decks, they don't care at all, right? Like they just don't. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. And Tom getting some real unlucky dredges there with the
the
loam.
Not to mention, Tom's luck in both of these games has been not spectacular, shall we say?
Yeah. Has left much to be desired.
Indeed. But he is playing it out as we are on camera, and Ooh. Yep. Counterbounce.
Yep.
Revealing counter spell. It's kind of like a slap in the face.
Yeah. And then the AK there.
Yep. Gonna draw it.
What was that?
All right.
3rd?
Tim's untapping with a giant grip.
What is that?
Wow, that is yet another. Oh yeah, that was the one that he planted at the very bottom of that ponder.
Yeah.
And force of will for Tom, and he tried. He did it. He did what he was supposed to do. But Tim has drawn 1 million cards in this game, and Tom has drawn a normal amount of cards.
Yep. And now with Tim having some pressure on the board, he's able to try to get things going here.
Yeah, we're like 2 turns from lights out for Tom here.
Yep.
Oh wow, maybe just 1 turn from lights out at this point. Yep. He's gonna say that's enough.
Oof. Well,
and that'll do it.
Yeah. We got 18 minutes left.
Yeah, if you're able to hop out and see if anybody's going to game 3, take a look-see.
Yeah, let me go.
If not, just come back to the booth and we'll we'll
chat some spoilers.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right, folks, if you guys are tuning in, thank you so much. You know the deal, hopefully. This is Monday Night Legacy broadcast from Mox Boarding House Ballard, brought to you by Card Kingdom. Obviously, if you can go to Card Kingdom, if you want to buy some Magic cards, you can come to Mox Boarding House if you want to be here in person. 2 different names, same family, same company. It's all good in this cardboard hood. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out. Round 1 is in action. If you enjoy Legacy, well, that's what we're here for. If you enjoy Magic the Gathering, congrats. You're now watching what is my personal favorite way to play this game that we all love so dearly. So if you've never seen this before and this is new to you, stick around. You'll have me and Patrick daily talking about some matches. Hopefully explaining to you some cool cards and some concepts you haven't seen, or if you're a Legacy vet, not explaining things in the correct way at all and making you mad over the stream so that you can correct us in chat. It really works out both ways for us, so totally fine. Hoping we find a backup match for Cameron, though, because 16 minutes is a little bit of time to chew on. And it's nice if we can get Magic. What's the scoop? No? Everybody's playing? It's fine. It's a small night. It's a slow night.
Yeah.
Let's take it back to the booth then in just 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
As we watch... Oh, you're good. You're good.
Oh.
As we watch these players put their cards back.
Indeed.
Hey, everybody. All right. Patrick and Jake here hanging out, looking at spoilers for the new set.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I have a web browser pulled up here, and we can take a look at these cards. So, Patrick, tell me, what do you think, out of everything that we've had so far in our spoiler season, for War of the Spark, or as I like to call it, Crisis on Infinite Ravnica's Planes?
Oh.
Yeah, no, really Planes. But I'm hoping Planes. They haven't really introduced that yet. I'm hoping they'll go to more, but as we get further into spoilers...
They said there will be a second plane featured in the set.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Oh, then I called my shot. I'm perfect. I'm happy about it.
Mark Rosewater did, and then everyone said, yeah, you can see Amonkhet in the background of the portal. And he's like, besides that.
Oh, snap. See? Crisis on Infinite Planes. We did it. So, yeah, we've had quite a number of spoilers. I would say a little bit of a minimal impact on what looks to be the Eternal formats from now, but a lot of Planeswalkers, right?
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of just interesting ones in general, too. So, out of everything that's come out so far, what is hitting your eye?
So the two cards I'm most excited about, one because we've got it right here, Vivian's Arcbow. Totally sweet card. For those that don't have it pulled up or memorized yet, it's a legendary artifact, 1 in a green, X tap, discard a card, look at the top X cards of your library. You may put a creature card with converted mana cost X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order, or in a random order.
Yeah.
I think almost every build of Nick Fit wants this.
So why?
There's a lot of times late in the game when you're sitting as a Nick Fit player myself, you're sitting with like 12 mana or so, some more likely like 8. But still, you got like 8 mana. Top decking a land feels real bad.
Of course, yeah.
But then if you could turn that land into a creature from your top 8, straight into play.
That's pretty cool.
Real nice.
Yeah, and it is, I just realized it's an artifact. You can kind of just slam this card if you draw it and still like discard something that's in your hand, maybe play it, maybe activate it for like however much you have -2 basically, right?
Yeah.
If you need to like get a threat to play that turn. Very cool card. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this slots into the existing archetypes of Nick Fit, and if it pushes the power level of the deck anymore. Because you're right, Nick Fit is a deck it's a cool mid-range deck, but it's not. It doesn't have a lot of ways to refuel its gas. It's a card. It needs to have good cards in its opening hand, right?
Yeah,
like many non Xerox Brainstorm decks, it operates on a different axis.
Yeah, you count on ramping your mana hard and then just having better top decks.
Having good stuff, and this immediately plays into that.
I can also see a world where there are some Elves lists that might want to run an Arcbow.
Very interesting.
Yeah, because you could, rather than sort of the natural order package, you could just get enough mana for your entire deck.
Yeah.
Flip the deck, get Emrakul or something.
Yeah. It could rework the way the deck wins the game.
Yeah, gives it a few more options.
Yeah.
Definitely does have some for sure weaknesses though, so wouldn't count on that one as much. Chat is pointing out Liliana's Triumph.
It's true. That is a pretty strict upgrade to the old Edict.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Anytime you see that card in Legacy, it'll probably now be replaced by Liliana's Triumph. We'll see how often the controlling a Liliana clause comes up. I'm willing to bet that is going to be the cause of much salt from those who have the card played against them when their opponent has a Planeswalker in play, because it's definitely not going to come up every single time, and when it does, it just kind of feels even worse, right? But yeah, a very interesting example of a strict upgrade to a card that previously wasn't even in the modern format, right?
Yeah. The other one that people are excited about, Dovin's Veto, or
that one's cool.
Or Danny's DeVito.
Dovin's. So is this? Do you think this is possibly a Tundra card for Legacy in like mirror matches even or something?
Oh yeah,
huge one, right?
Yeah, Dovin's Veto is a white-blue for an instant that can't be countered, that counters target non-creature spell.
Yeah, I mean just a huge FU to combo decks, right? And any deck that is like trying to win on that stack level.
I definitely see it also as the how do control decks beat other control decks.
Exactly.
Card.
Yeah. No. That seems like a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And also the new Teferi, 3 mana Planeswalker, always something that if 3 mana Planeswalker raises eyebrows, right?
Yeah.
I guess at this point we have to say 3 mana rare or above Planeswalker raises eyebrows.
Yeah, because
we live in a world now where you have to make that distinction, because I can't say all 3, because now there's 3 mana Planeswalkers that don't do a whole lot, and that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
But the old adage of 3-mana Planeswalker now has to be appended.
Exactly.
Because Planeswalkers can be all sorts of rarities, you guys.
Yeah.
New card is 1-card lockout. I keep
yes,
hearing
okay.
about this. Okay, so
Okay,
yeah,
so
walk me through this because I literally don't know it.
So New Karn, let me find it.
Yeah, you can click through to get the better.
So New Karn is a 4-mana colorless planeswalker. Starts with 5 loyalty.
Jeez.
Has
Another 4-mana card.
Yeah, has the static ability. Activated abilities of artifacts your opponents control can't be activated.
Sure.
You can tick up, and up to one target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness equal to its converted mana cost. So the Karn ability.
Yeah.
-2, you may choose an artifact card you own from outside the game or in exile.
Oh, wow.
Reveal that card, add it to your hand. So, you go get Mycosynth Lattice.
Oh.
You then play Mycosynth Lattice the next turn. All of your opponent's lands are now artifacts,
That's what it is, yeah.
and they are locked out of mana forever.
Oh my god. What an absurd deal.
If you want to get even zestier with it, you can also start
6
ticking
mana,
up.
right? So this is a
Yeah.
Tron thing for
Oh,
real,
yeah.
right? Like,
God,
yes. Oh, goodness gracious.
Tron probably runs it, I think, plus, because it just takes up 1 sideboard slot to run it. Like, Bomberman.
That's
Bomberman might run it.
incredible. Here, let's read this out loud. Activated abilities of all permanents your opponent's control can't be activated. That's what it is. That's the spice you're cooking up right there when you put those two together.
It's good enough that I've got a Planeswalker Nickfit list.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to run one of Karn just to be able to pop in Karn -2 to grab that.
Mycosynth in your. Why not? Yeah, of course not. Yeah, especially in a Nickfit style kind of like you're just which Planeswalkers do I have in my hand and which way am I going to win the game? Like that's one of the ways you can lock them out.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That'll be really cool stuff. Yeah, a lot of Planeswalkers. I mean, I'm pretty.
Yeah. The good thing about New Teferi is locks out your opponent from any instant speed interaction. I know Vintage is going to go crazy over that, but I don't know a whole lot about it. Legacy will probably also like it, and it's basically just becomes a must counter.
Tolasmir is a pretty interesting elf. I've heard some talk that this may or may not make it into the elves list as a. I mean, I guess you can just like not go infinite, but probably bounce and recast it a ton and just like completely control the board whilst making a ton of 3/3 green and white wolves.
Not to mention,
you know what?
each of the
Never
wolves
mind.
to like gain life and fight every time too.
Oh, never mind. This card is not as good as I thought it was. This card creates a legendary wolf. You can't make a bunch of 3/3s. You can only make one at a time. Shoot.
Well, each time you make one, though, you're gaining 3
I
life.
mean,
and
it's not
having-
bad. Trust me,
having
it's
it
not
fight
bad.
stuff.
It just
Yeah.
doesn't. It just doesn't do quite what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still is a good way to gain life, control the board, and just like grind out mid-range decks as the elf deck if they need something like that. I don't know if this will actually fit in the slot or not. We'll see.
Yeah. The one we were talking about earlier, it's up a little bit more on our page. Oh, there we go. Down a bit.
Down one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Evolution Stage.
The Evolution Sage, a 3/2 elf druid creature for 2 and a green. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, proliferate.
Yeah,
It's so good.
it's pretty good.
It's so good. Any Loam deck would love running this if they've got stuff with counters on it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a big if. If you have need to proliferate anything.
Right,
Super
that's the
good.
thing. And that's the thing that's fun about Proliferate. It's a pretty busted mechanic, I think, on the face of it. We all know that. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just taking something and putting another thing on it for free in Magic is usually really beneficial.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if this happened when Energy was still out, right? I'm sure they
so good.
intentionally did not want that to happen, but
Mark Rosewater said in his article today that they were trying to get all the times they tried to print proliferate from
and that was
Sense
one of
Mirrodin.
them.
That was one of them because they're like, it's so perfect to play it. Turns out it's not because it was too good with energy.
Yeah, of course.
It was too good with +1/+1 counters.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because the difference between having like 1 energy and 2 energy is like leagues away from having a creature have +1/+1 versus +2/+2.
I mean, there's the Proliferate and Proliferate Again creature that just got spoiled too, which is pretty sweet.
Burlesque.
Yeah, Apex Hybrid. That's like an EDH. That's soon to be an EDH. Like I'm sure $20 card or whatever. You know, like
I'll run one of in my Nickfit
nice
Proliferate deck.
That's what I was hoping you'd say.
Yeah,
that's what
I mean, EDH All Star.
Yeah.
Nickfit
All Star. It's true.
EDH All Star. If it has green in it, then it can be a Nickfit All Star.
Yeah, it's probably really, really good. It's kind of funny how it's like you know, there's a bit of an adage that like blue is the quote unquote best color just because of control. And that like sticks to most formats of Magic. Not that it's strictly better, but just that it usually allows you as a player to have
More
the best
options.
options.
Yeah.
And in EDH, it's just a hard nope. Green. Green is the best. If you're not playing green, what are you doing?
Turns out, especially if you're going for more than one color,
Yeah.
having green to ramp,
Oh my goodness.
it's
Yeah.
just leagues different.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's kind of fun.
What are your thoughts on Feather?
Yeah, I just saw this
Finally
card.
getting a card.
So, yeah, apparently that's a thing, which is very cool. My immediate thoughts are I love Wayne Reynolds. I wish he would do more Magic cards because I'm a big fan of whenever he does it. I know he's got that Pathfinder money or whatever. He's like the main artist for all that, but maybe he's still. I don't know. That was like when it started. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
It's also possible they maybe have just been sitting on this art for a while because
That's true.
Feather was a
it's
character.
a very old character, right?
Yeah, from the original Ravnica.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
the original leader of the Boros and then got like put in Boros jail and had her wings taken away.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So she's back. Feather
She's
the
back.
Redeemed.
Broken out.
Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it targets creature you control. Exile that card instead of putting it through your graveyard as it resolves. If you do, return it to the hand at the beginning of the next end step. That's kind of cool. I don't know where this fits for like any legacy decks, but I think as like a, I would love to have this in a draft and just draft, just like draft pump spells, you know, draft combat tricks, right?
As much as it wouldn't fit, the legacy deck that would love to have an effect like this would be Infect.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, I'd like to be able to cast all of my pump spells all the time, but Infect's already like split in blue-green, so
Yeah.
splashing red and white just for this is not a great choice.
Like, I think if we're thinking of this as a limited card, it seems pretty sweet at rate. Like 3/4 flyer for 3.
3/4 flyer for
That's
3 is
nuts
great anyway.
on curve, right?
Yeah.
And so like that's great alone. So if it's a 1/1 and you're limited and they kill it, great. You just played Magic. Correct. Congrats. Like that's how you're supposed to do it. If you get like one instance of I pump this creature and then I get my card back, it's like that's such a blowout. I feel like, you know, these 2/1s and limited are what you really want to find. And granted, this is like a build your own 2/1. It's not inherent. You may not, you know, benefit that. It may just be a regular Magic card. But in these like aggro strategies and limited, I think this is pretty sweet. Yeah, and it's a good example of a rare that's not really busted. And I don't even know if it's necessarily first pickable, but if you're in red-white, you're like, maybe it is if you're in red-white, because just because 3/4 flyer is super slammable. I'm not a huge limited guy.
Yeah, it also remains to be seen.
Ooh, with blink instances, that is pretty gross. Good point, Andy. Good point, Andy. Yeah, very sweet.
I'm also like, Feather's just seems to be what all of the Boros EDH players have been wanting for ages.
You know, like that's the thing. That's a. I don't know a lot about EDH, but I do listen to things that I hear more than once. And the thing I hear more than once is that Boros is really not. It's the deadest color in the format. It's like doesn't have a lot of support. Has kind of just this very singular vision. Always something to do with attacking. Always, you know, combat tricks.
It is the Voltron colors.
Yeah,
and if you try to do anything else, you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
It's bad at everything except.
And it's like even when you say that, it's like the colors that come to mind for me when you say Voltron are like Bant or like Bruna.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like,
and that's the thing. Like, Bruno does better.
Yeah, that's a much cooler Voltron card.
Yeah.
That card is so sweet. I forgot about that card. But like, if I were to play stupid EDH, I'd probably build a brooded deck just because I love Voltron-y stuff. I love attack step and then triggering like 80 things and then winning the game. That's my favorite.
Yeah. My favorite EDH deck right now. Though I haven't played in a while. I've got of course,
not play the format.
I've got 5 color dragons.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Scion of the Ur-Dragon or whatever.
I'm running. I think I have Scion. No, I have the Ur-Dragon.
The Ur-Dragon.
The Ur-Dragon is the commander now because it's the Eminence.
He's out there. Yeah, you can't have anyone. You know.
Yeah.
Who's more than the Ur-Dragon?
And then I also have my I have a Joyra, the old Joyra, the suspending one as an EDH deck.
Very cool.
The goal is just to make the board state as complicated as possible and win by other people giving up.
That is simultaneously something that I totally admire and the reason I don't play EDH.
Well,
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
I would love to get a 5-minute look into the room of one of your games.
Uh-huh.
I would not like to play a game with you.
What, you don't
Very
like-
different things.
You don't like
Very
playing when I've
different.
got Mind Moil, Teferi's Puzzle Box, and what's the other?
I don't know what it is.
Knowledge Pool.
I do know what that does. I
Yeah.
don't know what those other two do.
Knowledge Pool. The one that when you cast a spell, everyone else copies it and casts it.
The one EDH deck I built that I actually built.
Mm-hmm.
Ulashed the Hate Seed, because that is the
Yeah.
coolest name that it's still, to my opinion, in Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Such a sweet name and such a sweet concept of a commander. It's just like a big Hydra beast, dude.
Yeah.
Basically the poor man's Marath, I think, but much more fun in my opinion. And yeah, it was sweet. I once you get your mana ramp going, you can just start to control the board with that card, and it's very fun in that aspect. And it's not. I wasn't playing like very busted EDH. I was playing like whatever, like casual
EDH
with friends.
With friends.
That's my main thing with that format. Is you can't just say you play. You have to like align yourself on this spectrum, and if you want to play with different groups of people, you almost have to have different decks sometimes. It's like it's dicey. Not to mention building Singleton is just like
It's hard.
so much fun to do in theory and such a pain in the butt in my opinion to do it like in practice. Just getting all those pieces of cardboard together.
Yeah, it was a lot easier for me for a while when I just had like a huge stockpile of like old kind of good cards.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, all right, I want to play this commander. Let's find all of the colors or all the cards on color for that.
Nowadays, my policy is I don't play EDH like I'm not going to go out and do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have friends that play Magic much more casually than I and stuff.
Yeah.
And so what I do say is like I don't have a deck, but hand me literally anything, and I will absolutely shuffle it up and play Magic against you. And like let's go. Like because I feel like at this point, like as a Legacy player and as like I just play Cube and Legacy mostly, and and I'm not like the most experienced Magic player, but having played competitive for so long, even if I'm doing things in the wrong order with powerful cards, I can look at powerful cards and kind of be like, all right, dude, let's give this a shot. And that's a way more fun way to play EDH than knowing what you're doing, in my opinion. So I love getting the blind deck box and just trying to figure my way out for that.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen much, maybe once a year, but yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. I will say to anyone out there, if you are going to any sort of large nerdy convention or a Magic Fest, build an EDH deck, bring it. It is
it is just a good socializing tool, right?
It's the most common format. If you ask, because most people ask do you play Standard? No. Do you play Modern? Yes. I don't play much Modern, but almost everyone always has an EDH deck with them.
Absolutely.
So it is. If you are looking to just go play random Magic with people, perfect.
Yeah, it's definitely the best bet, and I find that within the weird. Whatever you want to call this niche of like both competitively minded players and people who actively don't really try to be on the Pro Tour because they like Legacy a lot. I find that I often get offered to play a lot of EDH, and I am in the position of being like, not for me. Thank you very much. It's a good time and appreciate it, but I'll just sit there while you like 4 other people are taking their turns, and I'll look at my phone, and then I'll forget what happened in the game, and then it's just different. That's what's fun about Magic. It's so many different ways to enjoy and play.
Only in EDH can you forget whose turn it is.
For real though, right?
For real.
Yeah. That's the most ridiculous thing.
All right. We are coming up on the end of round 1. We've got a couple more matches just going to time here.
Yeah, it looks like we have. No, I mean that's Tom. So they're playing.
Oh, okay.
They're playing Shylander or something like that. Oh, but over there that might be in turn.
Yeah, they did call out. They are still going. Okay. I don't see our tournament organizers furiously typing away at the computer.
Yeah,
so.
no. I mean we're at sub 2. It's not been that long after time got called, and I think we'll have pairings up for y'all soon. But in the meantime, thanks for sticking around and joining us. Like I said, we've got 3 more rounds of Legacy action for everybody.
Yeah, we've got so looking at some of our scouted decks.
Yeah, what do we got?
We got a couple people on. We got at least a Miracles. We got Blue White Delver.
We got to get Kiesel on if he won his match. We really do.
Oh yeah, what's he? 4-color Phoenix. Oh,
parentheses.
4-color Phoenix. Parentheses
with Mentor.
I also like Sean's deck, which is Spicy Bant Things.
That's amazing. Oh, is that Cotton AC?
Yeah,
Of course.
of course.
Yeah.
He's always on.
He
Something
plays
spicy.
everything great. He plays only good cards.
He's like the me I wish I could be in terms of deck building.
He's the you with every Judge promo that's ever existed, 4 copies of them, basically.
Yeah, he's
guy's-
me,
yeah.
but he wins. We got someone on goblins tonight.
Oh, sweet.
Too.
I've actually that's going to be the next deck I build for funsies.
Mhm.
I haven't settled on a build per se, but I have. It's like sitting there.
Yep.
It's like waiting to go. I need to choose. We have Food Chain in the room. Aubrey has shown up a number of weeks now. We now have a pretty
Mhm.
regular Food Chain player.
Yep. Gotta
locals adjust your sideboards accordingly. It's back, baby. And actually, also she top aided recently. So
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Shout out to Aubrey.
Mhm.
Like that is a deck that I have not had to deal with in a while, and now it's popping off.
Yay. Some Reanimator, Eldrazi Post, couple on Burn, couple Death and Taxes,
Death and Taxes is such an interesting deck locally.
Or maybe Maverick, but not scouted correctly.
I mean, even if that's the case, that's for like 1 copy out of the prospective 6 we have.
Yeah.
I think we'll find out.
Yep.
NVD.
Dimir Show and Tell. Interesting.
Where's that at? Dimir Show Tell. That to me that I think that might be a to me that sounds like Reanimator with Show and Tell.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That might be like a miss or he saw the hand that had the Show and Tell in it with a Gristlebrand or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Could be that.
Yeah, potentially.
Azoria Stoneblade, Rug. Oh, that was Tom's.
Yeah. Oh wait, so where's Zeckler? 4C Loam. Same. No. Is he playing regular 4C Loam?
It might have just looked like it.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Oh, or someone in chat, Andy saying the the Dimir Show and Tell could be Limduel's Vault.
Does that just like put in Omniscience and then Limduels through my whole deck or something?
Basically.
Oh, cool.
Or you just Limduels. I saw someone playing this, and you Limduel a whole bunch of times.
6.
Yeah. You Limduel a whole ton of times to just
look at all that text.
Your deck.
Look at all that text.
So the way that it works is
this card is so ridiculous.
You repeatedly look at your top 5 cards.
Yeah.
And order them amongst themselves.
Yep.
And then you can put them on the bottom and pay 1 life and do it again.
Yep. Insane.
So if your deck is small enough and you have enough life, it only takes you about 8 life to get through your whole deck once you're at like 40 or so cards.
Hey, look at that. It's round 2 pairings, everybody. We're getting round 2 going. Let's see where is Mike Kiesel?
He is up.
Yeah, against Rachel.
With Death and Taxes?
Yeah, let's do it. This is going to be
good.
so
that's
sweet.
Really good.
If they're down, let's do it.
Yeah, all right. So that is table 8. All right.
I'm going to hopefully type that in and get them situated here. I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Setting the mics down gently, folks. This is going to be a fun one, I think, or a quick one. It depends on how this Phoenix deck operates and how the DNT deck is able to capitalize on the 4-color nature. Because if Rachel's on the play with like a vial and then a port, excuse me, and then a wasteland and a Thalia to follow it up or something like that, I don't even think the Phoenix deck can recover. But if the Phoenix deck goes off before Rachel can even play a spell, well then, yeah, weird matchup. Die rolly, I think.
Are in.
All right, cool. That sounds good.
Oh,
Sorry
for that potentially loud noise I just made.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. All right. So what's Mike on again? Oh yeah, 4-color Phoenix with Mentor.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So 4C Phoenix DNT. Lock it in.
Woo. Clear out that Limduel's Vault.
Yeah, and we'll take
I think
it
we've
down
given
to the match. We'll clear out the
given
Limduel's Vault.
just enough time for everyone to finish reading the entirety of the text.
Yeah, it is. We did want to keep it up there. There we go.
It's no Chains of Mephistopheles, but it's real dang close.
All right, I'm excited to watch some Death and Taxes. This is a deck that I I don't play much these days because I play Maverick, but it's obviously the deck I started playing and is always will be near and dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then I also decide to play it and should probably like play it for a solid year so I get super good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I'm way too ADD to stick to one deck for that long.
Death and Taxes for a very long time was my bane. I kept accidentally building decks that were bad against Death and
It's
Taxes.
not, yeah, I mean, in your defense, it's pretty easy to do in this
It is,
format.
it
You know,
is.
if you don't follow certain rules, you'll get thoroughly got by the D&T machine.
Yeah, to be fair, also like the first couple decks I built were like Mono Blue Martyr, and then I tried like a Minotaur tribal thing with Didgeridoo and Standstill. But that didn't go well.
I'm going to do something here just for the sake
yeah.
of aesthetics and swap the place
Yeah.
names. Pay me no minds. But yeah, I was saying before you got here that this is an interesting match because here's the thing: die roll important. Rachel gets, I think, like a turn before she can do anything reasonable to interact with Mike.
Correct.
Mike's deck is, I don't think, the all-in combo build. I think it is more of the Thought Scours plus land grants, free spells, mid-rangey Phoenix build. So if Rachel gets a start that's like Vial and then Rishadan Port, and then keep porting you, and then maybe play a Wasteland and pop an Athalia off the Vial, or just jam Athalia, like that's really hard for Mike's deck to recover from. But if Mike's on the play, and he can just go cantrip next turn, maybe spell or something, and start to generate some. He still has some of the free spells, right? Yeah, just a really swingy kind of matchup that I think is not only die roll dependent, but just like, you know, like it's on Rachel to have the kind of opening hand that is necessary to beat this deck, and on her to decide if she needs to mulligan or not.
Yeah,
and that's as much of a choice as you get with D&T. You can't manipulate your library anymore. So you have to really sit there and think about the first maybe 4 turns of the game when you look at your opening hand. And like, yeah.
And she's got the opener with the Vial.
Yeah.
But it's getting dazed.
And that's, you know what, like, I think just...
That's fine.
That's fine. Still having a port is super strong here.
Yeah.
It's likely that next turn she's just going to... well, now she may not threaten port this next turn, but...
I mean, Threaten Porter, if she's got a Thalia, that would be the perfect thing to drop.
Yeah, the Thalia would be great. In light of the fetch, I was thinking about different plays, but yeah, given that Mike is fetching here, it's likely that Rachel's just going to draw and have a port turn. In which case, you know, she'll be kind of hoping to stimmy Mike.
Yeah. Pull way
draw
ahead
into
on tempo.
Yeah. Like, this is 1 tax, but she needs a few more to really kick this Phoenix deck in the pants. And Mike, in the meantime, needs to just develop a hand that doesn't die to that plan. Exactly. So we see the basic island, obviously, coming into play. Cannot be wastelanded. I'm guessing that is the only basic land in this deck.
I would be willing to bet there's a basic swamp, too.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Similarly, because the deck is relying on... Yep, there's the port. The deck is going to be relying on casting that the 1 black card to get the 3 copies of, or 3 creatures into the yard. Buried Alive? Buried Alive, I think is what it is. Someone in chat will correct me, as I usually get things wrong.
Mother of Runes coming down for Rachel, and not a bad late game card in terms of going to be able to hopefully protect her threats if Mike can't deal with it right now. And if Mike does deal with it right now, trade.
Mike brainstorming in response to the port. Probably a pretty decent choice here, especially with the fetch up. Otherwise, would have been a real rough choice to make.
Yeah, definitely.
Still trying to figure out which of those other cards to get rid of, which is also going to be a difficult choice. Mike seems close, really close, to getting the 3 Phoenixes in the yard and back this turn.
Where does he have a Buried Alive?
Yeah, I think that's that black card there. He's got a Buried Alive there, I think.
Yeah, okay, so maybe he is playing Buried Alive.
Yeah. I saw a couple when he was searching his deck.
I was thinking he was playing a different version. It's hard to tell. Okay. Maybe it's just too good. There was a list that did not run the Buried Alive. I don't know if you saw, yeah. This might be a synthesis of those two.
Yeah. Fetch now before the draw. Because it's 3 spells, so... 3 instants and sorceries.
Yep. And Scrubland for black mana is coming into play here, so...
Also has another land in hand.
Okay.
1, 2... Yeah, there would be 3 spells.
Yeah.
He's got enough for it. I think the one thing it doesn't have is the Dark Ritual piece.
All right, so that's the draw step. All right.
Ooh, going for the Thoughtseize to begin with. Triple Flicker Wisp.
Yeah, with no ability to cast any of them.
So
Super awkward hand.
Yeah.
I mean, Rachel was really leaning on that Aether Vial, obviously, as most Death and Taxes hands do.
Yeah, taking the Thalia, the correct choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're just going to have a lot of weird... Unless he can do it this turn. No, he can't. He's just going to play out this Dark Confidant.
Does Buried Alive cost 3?
And now, in the face of these double ports, Dark Confidant's looking pretty great. Mike's happy to just get ported and draw cards if that's all Rachel's doing, I think. And she does not have the option to even do much more than that right now. Oh, she drew another port.
Yeah, Buried Alive costs 3. That's
yeah,
what
it
we were
does.
missing.
Yeah.
So he was 1 mana short from being able to cast it.
Yep. Hoping to rebuild, I think snuffing out that he's going to have a lot of time and that he doesn't have an immediate answer to this port situation anyway. So, like, yeah, just play this Bob and know that you're going to draw some cards and continue to play the game.
The other option would be punch it for the Buried Alive now.
Right.
Just knowing that that's fine. Like there's like D&T doesn't have any main deck graveyard hate. But the Mentor instead is, I think, a pretty safe bet.
Ooh, that's a good draw.
Yeah.
We'll see what Miranda can do with
Or Rachel.
Oh yeah, with Rachel. Excuse me. Gosh, that's gonna be. They play very similar decks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, my B. They're friends, so.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also not clear. Like if I was in Rachel's seat right now, I would have no clue what Mike's plan is.
Yeah, I honestly, well, I would kind of. I think I would have sussed out. Hopefully the.
Yeah, there's nothing to throw off the Phoenix side of things.
You have to be definitely out there a little bit to be thinking of like, would I build a Phoenix deck that has Mentor and Dark Confidant? I don't think that's a hard yes, right? But you do have to be thinking about that. Yeah, absolutely. And it's really easy to look at this and be like, what is going on? And not think of it being a Phoenix deck.
Yeah, it looks like a weird Esper control deck, maybe. Though
perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of blue-black, and the Mentor came in off of the.
Okay, so wait a second.
Now we have Buried Alive.
Is this yeah, that is an old copy of Buried Alive.
Yep.
It is. Look at those Phoenixes. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Surprise birds.
Yeah. I don't even think he can get him this turn, right? He's just is he just a setup turn in order to make a token?
Probably.
And get some prowess? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such fun. Like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. Value. I mean,
like make him deal with one or the,
Especially because if you think about it, the things that the Phoenix deck would want to do, which is cast a bunch of cheap spells, is also what the Mentor decks want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cast a bunch of cheap spells. Why not find a way to jam them both together, get peanut butter all up in your chocolate?
I wonder why Mike didn't try to Dark Ritual first just to get the extra token. Maybe I guess he has to save it for the Phoenix to go off with the Phoenixes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, because what's he got in hand besides that? He has that, and then he's contemplating doing it, though.
I don't know. This is tough. He is facing down a GT attack next turn from Rachel.
Dark Ritual is his second Bob, though.
That's a lot, though. Honestly, man, that's a lot.
Gets a 4/4 to swing in.
Yeah, Rachel's going to do
though.
what she can, but this is still so much. And I mean, White Source would be nice here. But
being able to flicker away tokens is going to be very important.
Yeah, this Aether Vial not resolving has just stymied the ability for Rachel to kind of develop here, as she's had to devote resources to, Rashadenport and staying in the game and trying to keep Mike from just completely Phoenixing out.
And now we're just going to see 2 dead Bobs.
Yeah. And
if I were in Mike's shoes there, I would have blocked with a mixture of tokens and Bobs.
Just for...
to make the trade.
Yeah, for sure.
Because equipping Mom is very rarely what you want to do. And if you do as D&T, it kind of forces you onto the back foot.
Sure.
It would have meant losing more than just double Bob, but still might have ended up in a better situation.
Yeah, it's
It's hard to say though.
it is hard to say. And now it's definitely kind of a weird race, right? Like that attack, Rachel. Yeah, there was like both players like had no option but to do what they did there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there wasn't any. Yeah, there wasn't any like good like juke play around that. Rachel made the correct attack. Mike pretty much needed to let it through and trade the double Dark Confidants. As you said, he could have tried to do some block mix-ups, but the end result would have been the same.
Result would have been fewer tokens on board.
Yeah, exactly. And now Rachel's in a position where she can just go pro white, try to swing in for some GT tokens.
Yep.
But she's still not really able to, make use of, 3 out of 5 cards in her hand?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, Swords is good.
Wow, so here's the thing. Mike playing the Phoenix deck is a mentor deck, but isn't a mentor deck like Force of Will, where he's playing the card with like 4 cards in hand and counter backup and everything. It's kind of this glass cannon effect that we're seeing.
Yeah.
And Rachel with, the old top deck Stoneforge Mystic Binding GT. And as we mentioned earlier, also the resolved Mother of Runes being very important here, allowing the attacks in through protection from white. All of this is coalescing over a number of turns for Rachel, when it looked like even just a few turns ago, these were not in her favor.
Yeah.
So very well played and navigated, especially when she's very restricted on this mana as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just solid game.
Another Phoenix, but there's also a Ponder up top there.
Yeah, more
So
ponders.
Mike just needs to hit one more cantrip here.
That's right. Oh no, he's shuffling. Oh, look. Yeah, everybody's bracing themselves now.
Yep. Drum roll, please, in the audience.
Bug control. I don't think we do Lemon of Pink. Though I do enjoy your Twitch name. Oh no.
Does he
What
hit
is it? What is it?
Did he hit it?
What is it? No!
Oh, the pain continues.
So close to the 9 in the air comeback, and that probably would have been enough to swing the game in Mike's favor, even
Easily.
with these active Umezawa's Jite.
Mm-hmm.
Now, though, it does seem as if Rachel is completely out of options for playing cards. She's got white.
Mm-hmm.
In almost all of her spells, she's got Sarah Avenger, and I think the last copy of Flicker Wisp as her unknown cards in hand. So now she's literally on 5 dub white cards with only Karakas in play, I believe.
Oof. Cabal Therapy naming Flicker Wisp.
Yeah. Oh! The biggest hit! Woo, baby.
Wow.
You are not going to get much more value than that for your buck.
If nothing else here, I think
Yeah.
Mike takes the moral victory on that one.
Yeah, for real. Rachel may be winning this game, but only one player got a 4-for-1 in this match.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That was super funny.
Someone's got to clip that.
That was the goodness. Yeah, clip that. That was hilarious. I didn't want to pop off too hard because we had a game store and stuff, but that was super funny.
That would have been what I would consider what I would call a Jordan Isaka moment.
Oh yeah, for sure. I really wish he was
standing
commentating.
up. Yeah, standing up and screaming, walking around. Walking around. Whoa!
That was super funny.
That was so great.
What do we like for Legacy spoiler-wise as this game 1 wraps up? Patrick was talking about Vivian's Arc Bow as a very cool card that's going to slot real well into Nick Pitt strategies, possibly giving them a kind of a late game boost, making them a better mid-range deck in the format.
I think that's my pick as underdog.
Yeah.
For, best card that will be good for Legacy that no one else thinks will be good for Legacy.
It's like, well, I mean, certainly it only fits into these certain types of strategies, but it seems to fit extremely well into the strategies.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
Oh yeah, I was about to say.
Whoops. Rachel
up 1 game against Mike Kiesel. As we said, just before the match started, this is the deck that it's the combo deck, but if Rachel gets a little bit of footing, a couple turns of port activations, a couple tempo plays, like Mike having to daze the Aether Vial, that's where she can dig her claws in, dig the deck's claws in, and make it so that this kind of cantrip deck that has to resolve 3 spells in a row on 1 turn, make it very difficult for him to do that, right?
Yeah.
Veto in the control mirrors is going to be gross.
Mhm.
Absolutely true. Andy, what's your read? Do you think that's going to be more of a sideboard, like 2 of or 1 of in the sideboard that you just keep? Would that even be a main deck card? Like, I truly don't know. I would love to hear some input on that kind of stuff. I'm not a control mage myself.
Yeah, I don't. I played a bit of Control.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
1 of it maybe in the side, 1 of okay, I like it. Yeah.
Basically for Tundra decks, it's a strict upgrade to negate.
That makes a lot of sense.
And okay, it's not strict upgrade because it's more color restrictive, but in Legacy,
yeah,
it's not
like
a problem.
it's pretty meh. Yeah, especially in Miracles, right?
So yeah, you'd run it in exchange of negate.
That's a good way to think of it. Yep.
Or basically, you'd run it in place of Flusterstorm, where it's just a more expensive but more unbeatable Flusterstorm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't get our round timer started, but there's 34 minutes left. Just so everybody knows. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
for the folks at home, there's 35 minutes left in the round. 34:46 to be exact. I think just type 34 should be good.
Sure.
It's close enough.
Magic.
Ka-chow.
Ish.
All right, we're 35 seconds off. So, Yo, what round is this? Young Rose, this is round 2 out of 4.
Yeah, we got 4 rounds of hard-hitting Legacy action coming in tonight.
Miracles has more answers to creatures than most decks, and an uncomfortable negate sounds perfect to me, but I guess it's less flexible. Uncountable negate, sorry, not uncomfortable negate.
That's
mean,
the
it
best
might-
name
yeah,
for
it-
Dopin Speedo.
It might be.
I'm calling it uncomfortable negate.
Yeah,
now.
from now on, we will call it uncomfortable. It will definitely make mini games uncomfortable for many players in control mirrors across the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rachel Forshee looking at a hand, pretty solid start from what I can see, though might actually need something to do with her mana. Like if this is like just plains and Aether Vials, it stinks, but this Wasteland is making this hand. Oh, and there's the port. So this hand is super solid, perfect keep.
Yep.
On Mike's end, what do we look like?
We got some fetches, we got some brainstorms, ponders and some, is that a mentor and some swords? There's the swords. Yeah, a mentor in hand and a whole boatload of cantrips.
Vial resolves, my favorite thing in the world. Ooh, here we go. This is gonna be this is when I'm doing this with Death and Taxes, I'm like at home. This is like the perfect wheelhouse. This is exactly what you want to do.
I
Pass
know
with a port.
I know
have
that
your
feeling.
vial.
I know that feeling from being on the other end
It's
of it. Way
probably
too much.
not very fun. Yeah.
I mean, it's not fun.
That's fair.
There are more.
More unfun matches.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
It's a lot of okay. You get to keep doing stuff.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, that is the Death and Taxes motto. You can do stuff, but
Yeah.
I get to do stuff too.
Tucking away one of the mentors.
Yeah, and yeah, he does. Mike has the brainstorm to respond to. He's doing this on his turn.
He was doing
now
that
we're
on
on his
Instep, yeah.
on Instep. Now we're going to his turn. It's kind of the same thing
Yep.
as if he had done it in response to the port, I guess.
Well, he had
right?
double brainstorm, so use one
that's
at
why.
end of turn.
Yeah.
Shuffle it away.
Yep,
use one on draw
Now I got it. Yep.
or upkeep, I guess.
Yeah. And that is indeed going to happen.
It doesn't know the wasteland's coming quite yet, though. So
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's always a safe bet. Like
No,
always,
but it is a game you play, right? The
Yeah.
sandbag, it's not that. So that's the thing. I think if I'm Mike and I look at Rachel's sequencing, I would 100% still expect a Wasteland to be in her hand.
Oh yeah,
There's no reason that she would have run a Wasteland out before this, right? If she had it.
yeah,
So like from that perspective, I would definitely still be sniffing it out. From Rachel's, but as we saw, maybe he can't fetch white in this deck without going for a duel, so it doesn't even matter.
yeah. That's true.
Like,
I'm willing to bet that's the case.
yeah, he also had only the polluted delta, right? So
Yeah.
this is the thing where he's just like,
If he needs the white, he's gotta-
he's kind of gonna eat the payoff of like the price, I should say, of a 4-color deck versus a deck that's specifically built to prey on greedy mana based decks.
That said, as much as this is being billed as a 4-color deck, it does have the Phoenixes in it, but I haven't seen any red mana.
It's true. We haven't seen
Just
red
petals.
land, right?
Yeah, red lands, just petals to get that
My
out.
guess is that there's a single Vulcan that just hasn't come up yet.
Yeah,
that's usually how it works with these.
That's probably the case.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Vile doing Vile things for Rachel, taking up to 2, putting in a Mother of Runes at the end of Mike's step, and that is just a perfect. This is about to be a gut punch here.
Oof.
I really hope we have time to find another round because I think this game is going to be over pretty. Ooh, we are not main phasing the Thalia. I would absolutely be doing that right now. Maybe an upkeep.
Well,
I guess she's going
here's
to
the
do
thing.
it.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, here's what's going to happen. Brainstorm. Yeah, I mean this Brainstorm resolves no matter what, but I would still put in Thalia before Mike goes to his draw step, basically, or maybe in Mike's draw step. I don't know. I just really wouldn't want him to have this turn without a Thalia in play on my end.
Yeah. It's also possible that waiting for the Thalia now. Let him have his brainstorm. He
Sure.
doesn't have any shuffle effects right now.
That's fair.
Well, he does have a ponder, but then
Draw step. Here we go.
in draw step, pop in Thalia,
I like
and now if Mike wants to cast something, he's popping the pedal.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. You really want to make him, strain those resources.
Yep.
Smooth play by Rachel there.
Yeah, very much in control of the situation. Yep, and popping
There it
the pedal
is.
for it.
We have to ponder. We got to do something here. Oof. And there's the swords after the white source gets blown up. That is a really good Liliana, but I don't think Mike has the mana. Oh, you know what? What's that? Oh, no, that's a Cabal Therapy, excuse me. I thought that was a Cabal Ritual for a second. I was like, why is he running that card? All right. Another Plains, but Wasteland comes down. Oof. Yeah, this is getting into very close to unwinnable territory for Mike Kiesel here, I think.
Brutal. Savage.
We have the Violent
Wrecked.
3. Rachel could literally stop Mike from. Oh yeah, well she has the port right now, but now, so next turn, Rachel could still put Mike off of no mana if she wants to get cute with Flicker Wisp off the Vial, and just file it in her own instep to just get it out. I mean, it's maybe not a play you make yet. Ooh, Damping Sphere, very interesting.
I spied that in the sideboard too.
I haven't played Death and Taxes in a while, but I always keep an eye, and it's been very interesting to watch some of the changes that the list has been going through. Ancient Tomb is now considered mostly a stock card as a one of. Chalice is also mostly considered a stock sideboard card, which did not used to be the case. So very interesting developments.
I can see Damping Sphere also making sense because it is a sideboard card that doesn't completely hose any one archetype.
No, but it is flexible.
It is flexible, and it maims enough.
Yeah,
it maims enough different archetypes.
Damping Sphere on its own is not stopping a lot, but Damping Sphere plus Rashad Port plus Thalia, that's probably going to get there, right? Like that's going to be the nail in the coffin.
Plus, it's
so to speak.
It's good against.
Yeah, I mean, what can Mike even do here to continue to play this game? That's a Bitter Blossom on top, not the worst.
And a Disenchant.
But nope. He think he needs a land. Did he draw the Lily and now he's trying to find a land? Is that what happened?
Probably.
Kind of missed the development with that Liliana that was on the top of his library earlier.
He still needs a second land though too. Because of Thalia.
Yeah, backup match. You're not wrong, Andy.
Not wrong.
It would be prudent. The good news is that most people are still playing, so the earlier this ends, the easier it is for us to theoretically find a backup match.
Yeah, and it looks like there is nothing stopping Rachel now.
Yeah, this is what we call locked up for sure. She's not even gonna care about porting next turn. That's how confident she is at that she's locked this game up.
Yeah, Andy, he paid extra for that first preordain because of Thalia, not because of the sphere.
Yeah, it was the preordain cost 2, but then the next one would have cost 3. The next spell would have cost 2 extra to cast.
Well, I'm going to go hunt a backup match.
Yeah,
here.
Absolutely. Go ahead and perfect. 2 up for Rachel Forshee on Death and Taxes. One of quite a few Death and Taxes players in the room tonight. Shout-outs to that deck. I mean, I love it. You know me. If you know me, you know I love Death and Taxes. So many taxes. I agree. It's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons I don't play the deck. Frankly, I enjoy playing it so much, but I don't like being one of a sea of Death and Taxes players. And I also, as fun as the mirror is in a weird masochistic kind of way, it's not necessarily something I want to do every time I go to a Magic tournament. So, yeah, I almost don't play the deck because of those reasons more than not liking the deck. I love the deck a lot. It's just, this meta is. It's super rough to. It's super rough to play D&T in this meta because you will play the mirror a lot, and you will also just like be one of 7 D&T players, and it's like it's just not that fun in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
as much as I actually love the deck D&T,
Mm-hmm.
I've been boarding Dreadham Knights when I come in. I don't play. Yeah, it's all over. Yeah, and you know, like this used to be the case when I started playing as well. I started playing D&T, and then so I started playing 2015. I stopped being able to play Legacy for like most of all of 2016, and then I came back in 2017. And at that time, which is only 2 years ago now, at that time it was rife with death and taxes, like so much. So
Yeah, I think Death and Taxes is much like Miracles has sort of become, where it's the safe deck.
it is, yeah.
It's just
It's also, and not for nothing, it's the cheapest, one of the cheapest
Yeah.
options. So it lines up on that end where, yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Real, love more D&T in any room. I'm sure you would, bud.
All right, we do have a backup match coming
Cool.
down.
Perfect.
It's going to be Eldrazi Stompy
Okay.
versus Reanimator ? With the side note, lots going on.
So what are these players?
So it'll be Clark and Zachary. So table 5 here.
Table 5 here? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Clark Wittenberg, Zachary Dianis.
Yep.
Get dialed in. Oh, do you know who's on which side?
Nope, but they're going to game 3.
All right, we'll figure it out.
I told them to stay on the same sides, thinking that I knew who was who, and then I realized I didn't.
It's okay.
Apologies to both of them. I am bad with names. Oh.
Get everything reset here. And Zach is the one on Reanimator, you said?
Yes.
All right.
On Reanimator ? A lot going on is how our scout mentioned it. So I'm expecting it to be some sort of zesty reanimation targets. Yeah,
And yeah.
And they're
What is this
1
table
1
5?
each.
These
Yeah,
players are
table
1-0?
5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Sweet.
They're 1-0 and they're each up 1. They both have gotten 1 game
Okay.
in the match so far.
Cool. Doop. Save.
Magic.
Look, everything is magic. Everything's changed. Now we just hope we get sides. If we didn't, we'll switch that around in just one handy-dandy second.
Luckily, the decks look very different.
Yeah, Swamp Playmat is sweet. Those are both technically Swamp Playmats.
Yeah, you can get that Swamp Playmat on the left. You can get from CardKingdom.com.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Shout-outs.
Shout-outs to the people that are here running this tournament.
Yeah.
We got it backwards.
Oh, okay, cool. Swap players. And then save.
Done.
And then for some reason it doesn't do decks manually. It only
really?
does, yeah, it only does players. Isn't that a great...
That's dumb.
Doesn't that make so much sense? Isn't that exactly what you would think it would do?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine.
The
All right, I want to see what this Reanimator deck is like.
Yeah.
Thoughtseize. Oh, here we go. That is a gruesome
choice
That's
hand.
a gruesome Eldrazi hand. Yeah, wow. If we make it to turn 4, turn 3, we are running away with this. But that said, this is the deck that is designed to make you not make it to turn 3 from the Reanimator end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had a pin of that with the Card Kingdom. That's true. They use those designs on pins, on those playmats, on a number of things.
On the beginner decks?
Yeah. It's all the same guy. He's really, I think, I don't know him, but he's got a good style.
Does the art for the battle decks too, which are a whole ton of fun for just casual play.
Yeah, those are fun.
I would say
good idea. Instead of for tabletop decks, basically.
Yeah.
We get a turn 1 2/2 here. Oh, okay. We drew the Mimic. That is a good one to play on the first turn of the game.
Yeah.
As we go out to 18. Oh yeah, if you want to go.
Yeah. Hey Henry.
Hey, can we ship the life pad in a little further so that it looks good? Thanks,
so that
folks.
we can see. Yay.
All right.
Perfect.
Brainstorm. Yeah, Zachary's looking, I think, hopefully to go off this turn. Although if this is a blue-black Brainstorm Reanimator build, he may not be set up to do that until turn 3 or 4. In which case, Clark is going to be able to freaking
drop at least a few.
Yeah, he's going to be able to do a lot. Like if
especially
if he rips another soul land of some sort.
Yeah, Zachary's gotten Entomb in hand.
Okay.
And I think, is that an Animate Dead?
So we're
It's got
talking
some sort of entomb,
Yeah,
and then right
yeah.
next to it is some sort of reanimation spell.
So we're talking one more turn, basically.
Yeah.
For him, he can try to go off at the end of Clark's turn, or in response to whatever Clark does.
One of the benefits though of that early thought seize and now playing the mimic.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. You really just want to. Yes.
Ribbit.
I love nothing more than thought seizing, thought not seers. I also like that play a lot, Andy.
Yeah, the idea
If,
of animating one of the thought not seers.
If that was a reanimate, then I would totally be about that.
It's
if
the
he had-
reanimation spell that has the really goofy looking face. I know that doesn't narrow it down a whole lot, but it's like the goofy, wrinkly man face.
All right, so 3 mana coming down onto this endless one, which means this is attacking for 3, the Mimic.
Yep.
And the beatdown plan is in action. I mean, this is exactly what Eldrazi Stompy is built to do. We're really just waiting to continue to play lands. And yeah, at this point, Clark just wants to draw another 2 mana producing land to try and slam the Smasher the very next turn.
Yeah.
That would actually end the game. That would be enough.
Lethal.
So Zachary, we're really under the clock here, and Clark really praying for this top deck. Otherwise, he has 2 more turns, which is a lot for Zachary.
Yeah.
All right, Grixis, interesting. Yeah, Reanimator with a lot going on. Remember, folks,
Yes.
we don't know exactly what type of build this is.
Yeah.
I suppose
Let's
it's
see.
a weird thing that we have to distinguish now, because there's obviously the more traditional black-red build of Reanimator. Oh, goodness gracious.
Surprise!
Wow.
There's a Lion's Eye Diamond?
Yeah, okay. So are we cracking and then doing that in response? Is this all
No,
happening?
he's got it in hand. Putting
Yeah,
the
never
Gristlebrand
mind.
away,
Yeah.
and then animating the Gristlebrand.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe this is Tin Fins.
Yeah, this is like some sort of Tin Fins. Magus, please. I mean, that would be sweet. Don't get me wrong. I think, he's at 11. So.
Yeah, he's got one.
Oh, but he's getting
Ooh.
attack step. Yeah, he gets 2 activations.
Yep.
Yeah, this might be it. Come on, buddy. 3
Yep.
mana.
Pitch it away.
Oh, wow. What?
Yep. Make the mana now before you draw the 7 new cards.
Oh, sure. I forgot about how Lion's Eye Diamond works. Excuse me. Yep.
I wonder what he made though. Probably,
I believe, yeah. So 3 black probably, but we'll see.
Either black or blue would be my bets.
Magus. Is this the Nick Fit Magus deck? I haven't seen that since like months and months ago.
Oops, all Maguses.
What do we got?
All right.
Here we go.
We're tracking some mana.
Yeah. At least those dice have a good contrast.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe that means 3 black mana.
Sure. Yes.
We better have a storm kill. Yeah, I think this might be Bizarro Stormy.
Yep. There we go. I'm betting that red die is the storm count then. Ooh.
There we go.
Hey, look at that.
All right, blue mana, red
Profesh.
mana. When one can't play Mind's Desires, one plays Magus of the Mind. It's true.
Magus of the Mind is such a sweet card.
Yeah.
As soon as that was spoiled, I'm like, all right, I want to play this.
Yeah, no. I mean, resolving Mind's Desire is a very, very cool thing to do. I've lost to it in Cube more than once.
Yeah, it's fun. It's real fun. I like putting it in, I think I had a copy of it in my cube for a while with absolutely no support just to trick people into drafting it.
That is amazing.
Someone then managed to figure out a way to storm off with it anyway on accident. And they flipped like 5 things.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
You already played Demon of the Bargain.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, Storm 3 black. Here we go.
Storm is 4. Storm is 5.
See, if I ever played
a
a hard storm deck like this, I would bring a coloring book to just hand to my opponent.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Here you go. Let's figure out if I win.
Some sort of in-flight entertainment, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want.
Is that a Burning Wish in hand? Yeah, I think that's a Burning Wish in hand.
Okay. We got a lot of mana.
Yeah. He's lost track of storm count, but
Yeah,
it's
come
still
on,
pretty
folks.
close.
Keep it clean.
To be fair, I did steal the coloring book idea from someone on the internet, so
There
it's
you
not
go.
originally my idea. Still a great idea. He really only needs 5 drills right now, though.
Yeah.
Clark has been tombing himself down a bit.
I'm kind of wondering when we're gonna get to the payoff here.
Yep, Storm is 7. Massacre in hand. Or Unburden in hand, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
there we go.
There's our wish.
There's our burning wish. And that just finds tendrils, right?
Do you pay my drills?
Come on.
Do you pay my telephone drills?
Come on.
Do you pay my Automo drills?
There it
Yeah,
is.
there's our drills.
There it is. Big game.
1 turn away from dropping the
Yeah,
Caracas.
no, for real.
Yeah, Clark just maybe I don't know what the right call was there. Dropping the
So if you sniff out that your opponent is on Reanimator
or tin fins or something
tin
that
fins.
something that uses Gristlebrand.
Here's what I think. I think that there's not a huge detriment. Now, granted, he actually wouldn't have had lethal that turn, the following turn, if he had done this. But I don't think there's a huge detriment to playing a Mimic or playing an Endless one out on 2 and leaving Caracas up.
Yeah.
To mess with your opponent's potential Storm off plan.
Yeah, it's still.
That said, would you have prevented anything from happening? Did he get it activated twice, or did he No, he did. He activated twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, to prevent double Gristlebrand activations, that may have been a good line.
Yeah.
Unless there's a way that Zachary would get around that. But to me, it seems like, yeah, you could put Gristlebrand into play, then before combat, try to Caracas it. They're at 11. They have to activate in response. If they whiff on that 7, boom, like you're set up. But then you're not killing them the next turn. So it's a hard. But like, I guess this is a 10 pins deck, right? So once the Gristlebrand is in hand, and if they don't have a refuel spell, maybe that would have been the more safe. Maybe that would have been the less aggressive, but ultimately safer line.
Not to mention with Gristlebrand, you bounce it to hand, and they, in response, draw 7. And guess where that Gristlebrand's going to end up at the end of turn? In the graveyard, exactly where they want it. To give it a second try on
exactly.
the next turn.
Yeah. So it does play well into that, preventing them from going off plan, right? That was the last. That was a game 3. We forgot. So
that was game 3.
Yeah. That'll be the end of that. We already got 2 matches fit into 50 minutes of round time here,
and still a good like 12 and a half-ish minutes remaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think we'll probably find a backup match at this point.
Yeah, seems unlikely.
Yeah.
We can take it back to the booth with just you and I, talk with Chad about some spoilers. Oh yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah. You were sneaking your way outside of frame last time.
Oh, it's all good.
There we go.
I'll stay low.
Huh. Yeah, so here we are, just Mox Bordenhouse, Seattle, with our weekly legacy. We've got 2 more rounds still to go.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but we do this like, I can't say every week, but most weeks.
50 weeks out of the year.
Probably like 46.
Okay, yeah.
This is rough estimate.
Yeah, we always lose one to...
There's always weird stuff. There's holidays, holiday parties. There's weather, which we actually had one whole day where it got canceled this year, 1 week where it got canceled due to snow.
We had 1 week of just Jordan Isaka solo casting.
Yes.
Which was
bless his heart.
Great.
Oh, yeah, we should actually just do that regularly.
I know, right? It's great.
But if you guys like this, if you guys enjoy, if you guys aren't regulars already, and we do love you if you are, know that this legacy is very consistently on most Mondays, and we love to. It's just that. It's very simple. It's very simple. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just playing 4 rounds of Legacy on Monday, and we hope that is very entertaining for you. Because honestly, it's my favorite format. It's probably your favorite format.
Oh yeah, I like all the formats that start with the letter L.
I like that. I like that policy a lot.
Legacy and limited.
There you go.
Except sealed, because sealed is stupid.
What about Le Cube? Do you enjoy
Le Cube?
Does that count? Does that count as limited?
Le Cube.
Le Cube. That's my favorite format. Yeah, I think I used to be a Legacy and a Legacy first, Cube second guy. And not to say that they're both excellent, right?
Yeah.
I would do both of them endlessly. But I am slowly transitioning to being more of, and I don't even do it that often, to being like a Cube for, like if you gave me the option, I would pretty much snap Cube before Legacy.
Oh,
but if then you were like,
oh, I forgot my cube, I'd be like, no problem, dog. Let's play Legacy. Like,
Yeah.
not even an issue. Like,
I
I
am
love them both so much.
I'm working on the third like major overhaul of my own cube, and I'm also really close to starting build on my second cube.
What type of cube is your cube?
So my main cube is probably one of the only cubes of its type. It is a plane chase cube.
Yeah.
So not only you will be drafting your packs of 15,
Yeah.
but you also draft a planar deck.
Heck yes.
So a lot of people play the like fun way of playing plane chase, where it's like one communal planar deck at the front at the beginning.
Yeah.
The technical way you're supposed to play it, as for the like original rules that no one followed,
Yeah.
is you bring your own planar deck of 10 planes, and whenever you roll to walk, you walk to one of your 10 pre-chosen planes.
That's awesome.
So you have to be like strategic in picking out what planes you want.
That's rad. I have not played. I played one game of EDH that involved plane shift
it's
stuff, and it was
gets
pretty
stupid
kooky.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you know if someone has a cube?
they tell you about it.
They tell you about it.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good joke.
I will say, Great Whaler, you are kind of correct that people that play a lot of Cube are the vegans of the Magic the Gathering community.
That's the thing, man. I spent a lot of time avoiding cube because I kind of thought, there's similar line. But here's the thing. Cubing's really fun.
Yeah,
That's it. It's that simple.
I will say, you know what kind of cube is the best cube?
I do, but what's your answer?
Your friend's cube.
Oh, I like that answer.
Yeah.
I was gonna say unpowered, but with some stuff like Tolarian Academy and things like that.
Unpowered, except Tolarian Academy.
It's just no Moxen.
Yeah,
If you can't run out all the free artifacts, then that card's like you got to work for it a little more.
that's true. That's fair. But yeah, that cube is a conspiracy multiplayer cube that uses plane chase stuff.
Oh yeah, okay. That sounds
Yeah.
a lot like. So yeah, I've done a few cube drafts with the conspiracy master himself, Sean.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, he had. I mean, when he was up here living in the area working for Wizards, he had a lot of. Like I did the two-headed draft cube, two-headed giant cube, which I think was the basis for Battle Bond more or less when they like that set that eventually came out. And yeah, just a lot of he was the guy that had the aforementioned plane chase EDH deck thing I was telling you about. Just a lot of wacky formats, but that's where you can have a lot of fun with the game, especially if like you're only like I view Cube as a way to play a lot of stuff that I normally wouldn't ever play in Legacy.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Cast a lot of those spells that I just normally don't ever play in Constructed.
Oh yeah.
I love it for that. It's so much fun, and you learn a lot about. To me, playing Limited is also just like the most solid way to develop fundamentals in Magic. Like,
yeah.
You really aren't. If you just learn Constructed, you're really not. I think the game itself is more obscure.
Yeah.
Than if you're playing with like just creatures you had to pick out of an allotment. You know what I mean? The vanilla nature of it really does get down to. Yeah, just learning fundamentals of Magic. I just feel personally like I got into a Constructed, and I played a little bit of Standard, played Constructed with my friends. The first time I drafted, I truly felt like I was like learning way more about the game than I ever had up until that point. And so that's a super valuable resource, I think, because if you're trying to improve at Magic, like draft, just do it. Like, don't be a guy who doesn't play Limited. Even if you think you're bad at Limited, guess what? So are most people. Be bad at Limited, and then like figure out how to be slightly less bad at Limited.
Yeah.
Boom, you did it.
I think different formats are really good at teaching different
and
teaching different skills. Like Legacy, to be like one of the skills you learn best in Legacy that you don't learn in any of the other formats is how the stack works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Standard, you learn really well about how to do deck construction well with the fewest amount of tools other than Limited.
You probably think about combat math a lot too.
Oh yeah, and Standard is also big on combat math.
Yeah.
And then Limited is very much like power evaluation and like deck building from scratch.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Just the raw stats, right? Like, and it's so much. I don't know. That's definitely what's fun about it.
Oh yeah.
Because like that's the other thing is when you get into Constructed and you look at Magic cards, like let's just say like the landscape of Magic cards, and you look at a card that's like a 2-mana 3/2, and you're like, whatever, unimpressive. And at this point, like it's weird to say that a 2-mana 3/2 is unimpressive because on rate that's just like
decent.
That used to be way more normal. That used to be way more above power level, but it's not anymore. But in Limited, you're like, oh my god, this 4 mana 2/5 is the most OP card ever because it just blocks everything. And so like these cards that you don't really have an appreciation for
Yeah.
until you play this kind of Magic, and then you get an appreciation for the greater game at whole.
Yeah.
Like recently when I play Magic, I have not been thinking about the format. I literally have not. I've been like, well, obviously like I have to think about it as much as I'm playing the game, but I've been more thinking about like how do I fundamentally operate how do I maintain card advantage all the time? How do I maintain tempo? Like it's just these little things that you don't have to apply to any specific format. These are just things that apply to every single time you play Magic, whether you're trying to beat someone's butt off or you're just chilling out playing with homies, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's really just like that's the thing is like how seriously do you take it? That's what's fun.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a ramble, but like that just proves how deep you can go with Magic, the game. You really can engage with it on so many different levels.
My other.
You want to go real nerdy? Get in there. You just want to hang out and cast big dudes? That's also fine too.
If you don't mind me taking this to a whole nother nerd level. There are, for those of you out there that will know what I'm talking about as I mention this, the Magic Rules Engine is a Turing complete programming language.
That is pretty wild. You know, and I don't know enough about that to know the particulars, but I do know that that's a pretty significant thing for a set of rules to be Turing complete in the sense for computational value or whatever.
What that means for people that don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It basically there is when you get into like the real deep weird stuff of computer science, and they talk about what are all the problems that computer science could solve. Any language which is deemed Turing complete could solve any of those problems. So that's the best explanation I can give for that.
It's able to do.
You can do math.
Yeah, it's able to do math and solve for things.
Yes.
It's able to solve for an X, kind of, right?
Yeah, you can
sort of.
You can set up programs with an arbitrary number of inputs and an arbitrary number of outputs in a way that doesn't cause game to end.
Do you think that they could build a new online version of Magic the Gathering in Magic the Gathering? No, that's
maybe.
I don't know how Galaxy Brain that is or how P Brain that is, but
that's getting into like building.
I'm just
Minecraft.
having fun. I'm just riffing.
That's like the making Minecraft in Minecraft.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. I mean, that is. I'm basically pitching that, but for Magic.
Probably not. It would not be enjoyable to play. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. I want to see if there's any, since we are still in spoiler
Stick to
season.
talking Magic. Stick to watching free content that you want to, buddy. Wow. What a fun thing to just like, yeah.
No,
when I have an open platform, I love to spread negativity. That's my favorite. Let me tell you. I just totally am all about it. But
yeah. All right. Let's think. So we've already talked a little bit about some of our favorite, most interesting cards from the new spoilers. What about some cards that seem not so good?
I know, that's the thing. Like, when we're talking about legacy playables, you really only get a handful out of the pool of spoilers, and then everything else is kind of like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
I think this is neat. I'm probably going to play that new 5/4 Trampler in a Maverick deck just for a Green Sun, like a weird evasive Green Sun dummy.
Yeah. There's, I'm excited. It's not officially spoiled yet.
Oh, the new Niv Mizzet. That's pretty interesting.
There's a new 5-color Niv Mizzet. This is spoilers for the fact that it's not an official spoiler yet.
Yep.
It's a 5-color dragony dragon that when it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each color pair, choose a card that is exactly those colors from among them. Put the chosen cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty fun. I mean, yeah.
It's a definite build around.
Yeah.
Very much an EDH card, but I am tempted because it enters the battlefield. You can cheat this in.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if there's like a 5-color Hero of Precinct 1 deck waiting to happen in Standard, right? Like,
oh god, that'd be so dumb. That'd be so good.
I mean, just overkill it, right? Just complete overkill. Probably would not actually do that good, but it would just be like very fun.
There's also I think Tezzerator might actually like the new Tezzeret,
Yeah.
the buy a box promo.
You know, it actually does seem strong, quite strong, if it gets resolved. 6 mana is a lot.
6 min is a lot. Tezzerator can do that.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. It can still come down on like turn 4 for
Yeah,
Tezzeret.
yeah,
Yeah. If they have
especially-
a really fast start.
Especially the upside on the passive for it is, or static ability is just creatures and planeswalker spells you cast have affinity for artifacts.
Right.
Stupid dumb.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Any artifact creatures with affinity, double up on that.
Yeah. Very
Um,
interesting.
Plus to actually drain life from your opponent, whereas all of the other Tezzerets use minuses as their finishing abilities.
Yeah.
So this just gets harder and harder and harder to kill while you are killing your opponent.
Nice.
I think it's a pretty good finisher for Tezzerator.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, they have so many options too at this
yeah.
point for Tez's different planeswalkers that will all win the game for them if they go uncontested, right?
oh yeah. Ooh, people chatting in chat.
6 drops too much. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's too much, but you also have Ancient Tombs, so maybe it's not a 6 drop technically.
You've got Ancient Tombs, you've got Mana Rocks.
Yeah. Current meta of Modern and maybe Legacy is about to be dropped to Obliterate.
Oh yeah.
That's true. We don't know. We have no idea what Modern Horizons is going to do. It's basically like talking about a ghost at this point. Like talking about Modern is almost pointless. Like, obviously we can still do it, but yeah, it's weird to speculate on the format when we know that it's going to just be probably completely different. Come Modern Horizons spoiler season. Are we ready for the new Planeswalker-filled world? I think so. I think it's actually. I think from what I can see, none of these Planeswalkers are really busting down the door. I think we're going to be okay.
Except New Teferi. I think New Teferi is the one that is
might be true. Might be really good.
Has the most BS about them.
Yeah, I haven't focused too much. I know that a lot of blue-white players were evaluating that card really hard when it came out.
I mean, preventing your opponents from playing things at instant speed just is really good.
When you say it like that, I cannot disagree.
Yeah, each opponent can only cast spells anytime they could cast a sorcery. I don't even care what the rest of the card has on it.
Yeah.
At that point,
it'll be very obnoxious to play against.
Yeah.
They are like enchantments and walkers combined. That is exactly correct. Yeah, it's just another. I mean, that's the thing is like
they've been talking about how they could do this with planeswalkers for a while.
Yeah.
And
it's a little. It does make enchantments slightly redundant, but I think it works. I think it works.
These are attackable
even from a flavor
enchantments.
perspective. I think it works. Yeah, exactly. You're right. They're attackable enchantments. Like that is what a planeswalker should be, right? He's a freaking wizard, right?
Yeah.
They have to have magical effects.
Yeah.
Limited is going to be unplayable for the set. That is the definite question, man. It's like truly like I'm not a limited head. I can't look at these spoilers and really suss out, but I will totally agree that this will live or die. Like the limited will either be super good or really bad.
Yeah, so the thing is with all the uncommon walkers, they only tick down. So they're basically like weird sagas.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to be that bad. They're like sagas, except they do the same thing every turn.
Yeah.
And they don't do something big at the end.
Yeah.
But they are more flexible in that way, and you can interact with them better. So I don't see most of them being a problem. The new one that was spoiled today is going to be a pain in the butt for limited, which is what's her name? Kasmina, the Enigmatic Mentor. 4 mana for 5 loyalty.
That card seems super good.
But spells your opponents cast that target a creature or planeswalker you control.
No, I
costs
didn't read.
2 more.
I didn't read the last line. I literally stopped reading after create a 2/2 blue wizard creature token, and I did not read the last line. That card's gross. I would first pick that almost.
Make it 2/2 then loot. It's good.
Wow.
Oh, the Flashland, also great. I think it's what a lot of EDH people have been wanting. There's a land to let you have all of your spells have flash.
Oh, cool. I have not seen that.
And it's colorless, unlike the previous one, which was Alchemist's Refuge, which was blue-green from Avacyn Restored.
Oh, man. I feel like that Planeswalker is going to be like, it's going to come down, it's going to make a 2/2, it's going to loot, and then if you deal with it, like...
It makes it hard to deal with it too, because everything's going to cost 2 more.
Yeah, dude, that card's nuts. That's a good limited card right there.
So the one thing that the one thing I'm most excited about is
EOT.
EOT Flash.
How's that work?
Lattice.
Wait, how are we flashing? Oh,
with the land.
With the land.
Yeah, with the
Sheesh.
Flash land. Yeah, I'm also.
Karn combo's where it's at, says everybody. I mean, we'll see.
I want it.
I mean, no. 4 mana plus 6 mana, right?
Yeah,
In-
to do it in one turn.
To do it in 1 turn.
Doing it across 2 turns, though, is fine.
But doing it across 2 turns means that they can interact. They
Yeah,
can
but
stop
you can
from
tick
doing
it up the first turn.
No, for sure, for sure. I'm saying like, basically you're going to give your window, like if you're not doing it in 1 turn, you're giving your window an opportunity to like Assassin's Trophy your card,
True. Very true.
blow up any, and that just makes it a flimsy 2-card combo.
Yes.
So if it's not that flimsy, then yeah, it could be very real.
Mhm.
If it is flimsy, then I think it more be cute than real. We'll see.
Yeah. The other thing, too, to keep in mind, we're still only like not even halfway through spoiler season.
It's true.
And I'm expecting for limited to function.
How many mythics have we gotten through?
2?
Not even that many. Yeah, I
2
think
or
3.
Maybe 4.
If you go out to the
there should be
just the homepage, it should set it up in order.
There's the crunch.
Oh, I don't know that.
The crunch is alphabetical.
I never do nothing. Yeah, I probably don't use this site. Oh, so we have had a few spoiled. 4? No, 3.
No,
1,
Gideon
2.
is maybe not mythic. That's just from the mythic edition.
You're absolutely right. That's probably a static Gideon.
Let me just go to.
Oh,
Yeah.
ongoing War of the Spark previews. Here we go.
Rarity mythic. There
Wow,
are
so just 3.
officially spoiled.
And one of them is the buy a box.
Yeah,
so
one
really
is-
just 2.
There's also.
That's interesting.
Also, though, it is known what Nicol Bolas's abilities
Oh, of
are.
course. Yeah, that card is. I'm sure you're very excited.
I'm not going to ruin the surprise for whenever that's going to be there.
Maro confirmed Gideon is mythic too.
Yeah,
Cool.
Gideon, Liliana, and Nicol Bolas are the 3 mythic walkers.
Gotcha. Sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Limited is going to have a lot more Planeswalker removal cards and Planeswalker hate cards coming soon.
Yeah.
Limited probably needs Planeswalker removal at uncommon.
Yeah.
It's going to need that. And I think that'll actually end up being good, like a 5-mana Planeswalker kill spell.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
Gideon
fine.
is not legacy playable.
Oh, God, no.
No, yeah. Just not.
No. The fact,
fair to ask, but pretty simple answer.
main reason why he isn't is because he is always a creature.
Yep.
As soon as he comes in,
Yep.
he's a creature, so he's always swordsable.
Yep.
If it weren't for that, he'd be okay.
I mean, if it weren't for swords, we'd have a very different legacy format.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those glue cards for sure. One of those defining cards.
Swords, Brainstorm Force.
Speaking, sitting sub-minutes, 1 minute. Okay, cool. Sounds like we have one
1 minute.
match still waiting.
One
So
match.
a little bit before round 3.
Going back, though, a bit, we were talking briefly about Modern Horizons and how it's going to throw Modern into a blender.
Yeah.
This is a conversation I had a couple weeks ago. I think, so they've been hinting very strongly that they're going to reprint some sort of blue counterspell into
Really?
Modern.
Tell me more
Yes.
about these hints. What do you mean?
So they mentioned that the buy a box promo for Modern Horizons is an existing card that is going to come directly into Modern, but they didn't want to put it in the packs.
They specifically said that, huh?
Yes.
Ooh.
And I think I can't remember if they hinted that it was going to be a blue card or not.
Why would they? It kind of frustrates me that they're doing a buy a box for a supplemental set. But
So
aside.
yes. So the theory is there are 4 leading contenders for what the blue counter magic could be that they're printing in there.
Mm-hmm.
One is counterspell.
Yep.
If they did counterspell, that could fit in the packs really nicely.
That seems fine and limited, though.
Yeah, that's fine and
Yeah,
limited.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that doesn't fit the
Right.
buy
Doesn't
a
fit the
box
bill.
promo.
Doesn't fit the bill.
But it would fit in the way that it's like not going to be like the only way to get it. It's going to be something that has a good print run.
Interesting.
Option 2, which is I think the safest of the next 3, is foil.
Oh, that's the one that just got undone in. No, what is foil?
It's the popper.
Yeah, okay. It just got
force.
legal in Popple, right?
Ooh, yes.
Oh, here we go. Round 3.
Round 3. Any of those top 4 look good?
Maybe
one of the top 2.
And what is Damon Matney on?
Let's see. He is on Death and Taxes.
Oh no, is that Amir? I think Milo is also. No, Milo's on Demir, Show and Tell.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I'm down to see that, but what's Greg and Ant? What about
Stoneblade.
Greg's on Andrew's on Demir
Burn.
Control.
You know?
What's Greg Control on? Sorry, this is very thrilling right now while we pick out the map.
Hey, it's part of the show, man.
part
We're
of the
getting it
show.
live. We get this
We'll
information.
do it live.
Yeah.
Which table do you think? I'm down for either table 1 or 2.
Let's just do table 2.
Table 2?
Table 2, yeah, Dave Manny.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we might be getting a D&T redo, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Anyways, so people think it might be foil.
Do Black Control versus Mitchell. What did we have? What was Mitchell playing?
Mitchell is.
That's too late. We'll get
Yep.
Mitchell next round probably.
Yeah, Mitchell's on Grixis.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Meh.
They're good? Sweet.
Sweet.
Anyways, while we get this set up, I will continue my talk about blue counterspells
Yes.
in Modern Horizons. Other people are thinking pie in the sky thoughts that Modern could handle having Force of Will in it.
No. I think that misses the point entirely, by the way.
Yes.
I think there should be one Force of Will format and not two Force of Will formats.
Yes.
I think that's weird.
Yeah, so I don't think it's Force of Will.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Days.
I would 100%. I was just saying, I think Days is probably the most doable. Or Foil, potentially, but I don't know much about that.
Foil is a
Days is too good, says people.
Ooh. Okay.
So,
here's
yeah,
my case for Days.
Death Shadow, man.
Here's my case for Days. Of legacy cards, because they said it's a legacy legal card that's going to be in there.
Yeah.
It is the best free counterspell.
Sure.
And with Modern getting, and it's also not just like a free counterspell that's just counterspell. It is a counterspell that has, you can play around it by just waiting a turn and having one more mana up.
Yeah.
It is the most interactive counterspell that is available to the format. It stops people from tapping out. It prevents some of the problems that that Modern has right now of people just being all in combos. I think it's going to be I think it would be very healthy for the format. But obviously, chat does not agree with me. And last time I brought this up, I also got talked down saying that it was a bad idea.
The thing about Modern is that I don't really quite know if anybody knows what they want out of it and what's actually achievable.
Yeah.
Match
record. Yeah. The match isn't over yet.
So
and timer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Force of Will takes 2 cards and 1 life, which is fine. Foil is the same thing, except I don't think Foil takes life. It takes an island from hand, I believe.
Wrong one. There we go.
Sweet.
Cool. The round is underway as these players are getting started. Interesting. Hold up. Pay me no mind.
Just shuffling stuff around here. Yeah. So, we'll see what Modern Horizons brings. Oh, there's a character limit.
Nah, hold on.
Miles just has a very... Nope, we need to expand this.
It's all right, well, I'm not going to do that too much.
Meh.
Come on. It's not doing what I want it to do. Anyways.
I know how to fix that, but... Yeah, give me a sec, I'll fix it.
Yeah, it's on.
You good? Okay.
Sorry, Miles. You're Miles Harris right now. Yeah, we're thinking this is Blue-Black Reanimator still.
Here, I'll fix it real quick. Line that up.
I keep thinking Modern for me in a 3-turn format would be a great start to make the format better. I totally agree with that, yeah. It's just like, what do you do at that point? How do you chop it up?
I mean, Modern was designed to be like a 4-turn format.
Yeah. That's the thing. Modern just might not... Modern's a long-term project, right?
Yeah.
Modern's not that old either.
Well,
we might just be getting to a point where we realize this is what the Modern format looks like. And if you like it, cool. And if not, then it really does need significant changes to be different.
Modern,
almost to the point where it's a different format.
Modern now has more cards in it than Legacy had in it when Modern was announced.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right, yeah. So Miles has an Omniscience in hand?
Yeah, so that's the thing is this was billed as Blue-Black Omni or Blue-Black Show and Tell. And I was thinking it might have been Reanimator with Show and Tell.
Yeah, we'll see how that is.
But maybe not. Maybe this is just like a weird Omni strategy that isn't traditional like the rest of Omni strategies.
Damon, though, off to a fantastic Death in Texas start. I'm not sure what the Revoker is naming, but We'll see if that ever becomes relevant. Oh, it's probably naming a fetch.
It may be naming. It may be naming Petal. I don't think Revoker can name a fetch. Only Pithy Needle can.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Pithy
yeah,
Needle
yeah.
has to name a fetch.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Will?
Hey, Will.
We're trying to get the tournament organizer to check.
Hey, Will. Hold on. Hey, Will. Can you adjust the life pad?
And see
Thanks,
what
Doc.
Phyrexian Revoker's naming.
Oh, yeah, and also that. I wasn't even thinking that hard about that.
Important things.
I mean, I can figure out what Phyrexia Revoker's naming if I watch the game
Yeah.
and pay attention enough. I can't physically move that with my mind.
Hey, Will. Will? Can you also see what Phyrexian Revoker is naming?
Thank you, chat. That is absolutely true.
Yep.
Well said.
Can you see what their Phyrexian Revoker is naming?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Very well said. Damon
Yep.
playing a pretty stock D&T plan here, by the way. Speaking of Magic the Gathering games that are going on.
Yes. Sorry. We are both easily distractible individuals.
Lotus Petal.
It is a Lotus Petal.
All right, yeah, we're just cutting them off. I'm becoming a blue mage. I do like controlling
Ooh.
people.
Emrakul and Gristlebrand in hand. And a force? Wow. Miles' hand is stacked.
All right.
That said, can't really do anything about creatures on the board swinging in right now.
yeah, that's
So,
the thing. Like,
slight problem going on there for him.
yeah, is this? Have we still figured out if this is just a? I should adjust our thing. That's not Reanimator. I'm just gonna put
What was-
Omni question mark now.
Yeah?
Omni
Something?
question mark?
Something?
We know
What
that
was
the card
that?
omniscience.
What was that deck
There's
for a while
Emrakul.
that was...
There's Gristlebrand. Yeah, is this just mono blue Omnitel? This might just be mono blue Omnitel.
Maybe?
Uh,
Well, there was a show and tell deck for a while that was going around that was like no, that was Bizarro Starmie, and that was Miracles of Science.
Yep.
There was someone for a while that was playing. There were a couple people playing like a jammed together blue-black Reanimator show and tell list.
So that's what I was thinking this might be.
Yeah,
But we just haven't seen the Reanimator evidence yet.
yeah.
We've only seen
Sitting with a show and tell.
Limdale's Vault and Strix, I hope. Yeah, that would be cool, actually. That's
Yeah.
that's what we were thinking earlier as well. Good call. That might have been you that pointed it out, Wrestling.
Yeah. Damon off to a very, very aggressive win there with Death in Texas.
Yeah.
I guess Miles does have going for him that he's got the element of surprise at least a little bit here.
Yes. Nothing happened. Oh,
Pretty
look.
much.
So we can find out what Grixis is, or what the sideboard cards are for, or what the red is for.
Yeah.
Wow.
Blood Moons?
Blood Moons, Braids. Then
Oh no, Braids, Wear Tears.
Oh, okay.
Those were Wear Tears, I think.
Okay. Oh, that looks like the creature that makes a copy. Makes token copy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The alternate out to show and tell that you bring in when they take out all their creature removal.
Mmm.
Yeah.
That zesty Battle Bond card.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Battle Bond was so
And
good
as
for
there,
Legacy.
just as I said, we see Damon boarding out a bunch of Swords to Plowshares, bringing in Aether Sword Canonist, a couple of Chalices. Yeah, this is not a great matchup for D&T, so it's very important that Damon takes game one, which he did.
Probably going to bring in a Containment Priest, I would imagine.
Yeah, so the thing with this deck is that like you're very good at like stifling their early game, but if you do not have a way to close, then they can be at one life and resolve an Omniscience and cast an Emrakul, and you're lights out. You
just
cannot
dead,
win.
yeah.
You're just dead.
Yeah.
So it really is on you to close the game quickly, because the longer they have to sort of cantrip and build up their board, he's grabbing a Canonist. I think if he's thinking he's storming, he's grabbing a Canonist. I mean, so here's the thing. Canonist also just comes in this matchup to, like, be a hate bearer, effectively. So it might just be coming in because you have a lot to take out, and it's this 2-2 that it doesn't hose their game plan, but, like, if you put in Canonist after Omniscience, can buy you a turn to draw a removal spell for the Omniscience or something, an enchantment removal. I don't know. You know what I mean? It is quite literally better than some of the other cards.
Yeah.
It's decent. Stops Omni pretty well. Exactly.
It's better than, I don't know.
Chat just echoing my point.
Yeah.
It's not an all-out. They can obviously beat a Canonist, but they have to deal with it. So yeah,
It forces them to change their game plan. It hinders them enough.
yeah, I can
That
put in
it's
a lot
worth
of time
having.
with the right sequence of cards. I totally agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that a card in the sideboard there?
It may be that's a recent thing that's been happening. Thomas
I
and
like
Evelton,
it.
yeah, Thomas and Evelton, because you're also playing an Ancient Tomb now, right? So there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
chance for you to run it out a bit early. And Evelton's been playing a list that runs one card at the sideboard.
And especially because it looks like this list is like main decking revokers.
Yeah,
Which
well,
I mean,
you always
sometimes,
do. You always
yeah,
do.
okay.
So here's my personal rule of thumb: is no less than 3. A lot of
Okay.
people go down to 2. That is a season to taste kind of thing. I think that Revoker plays a valuable enough role in the deck that even if there's not always something you want to name with it, it's a colorless creature. It doesn't die to Dread of Night. It gets through Mom if you need it to occasionally, like with equipment, like just weird stuff. Weird
Okay.
stuff where you're like, I want 3 colorless creatures in my deck.
Okay.
But now there's also Walking Ballistas in the main for some of these decks as well.
Yeah, I'm just trying
That
to
could be
think.
a slot.
Just trying to think how many artifacts would you have to turn on the
Yeah.
constructs.
Yep. And I don't even think you need that many. I think it's mostly there to tick up and then maybe make, maybe you make a 2/2. Maybe
Yeah.
you make a 3/3 because you have an Aether Violent and equipment now.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's not. It's just a body, right? Like,
Yeah, and I guess also one of D&T's biggest weaknesses is not having a great card advantage engine.
exactly. Yeah. It is really there for the grind. You want to be able to just kind of tick it up and have them deal with it and hopefully reap the benefits.
Has anyone tried smashing Parfait into Death and Taxes?
I don't really know where those lines get blurred, but but perhaps in the past. Yeah. I feel like there's at a certain point you have to diverge. There's different game plans, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the core of Parfait is really
It's like
the
land
card
tax and
advantage,
rack,
land
scroll
tax and rack.
Yeah,
Yeah, are there 8 things you could cut out of Death and Taxes without hindering the game plan so
Yeah.
much that would be offset by having that? Wasteland and land tax.
I was about to say, there it is. Yeah, there's something that tells me that there's a very good reason for this. Because we can't be the first people to think of that one. Damon, looking at a hand full of some lands. I don't see any white mana, actually. Oh, wait, maybe I do. Nah, I do. Never mind. He's holding the plains.
Miles
I thought that was a new wasteland.
Yep, Miles has
Silly
a
me.
force and some mana.
Okay. No, this also just looks like regular sneak and show. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I think I saw some sneak attack in there.
And it looks like that could be sneak attack there, yeah.
Oh, no, wait. No, those are just red sideboard. On the far left, yeah. Yeah, I think we're just on Omni. Or rather, Sneak and Show.
Yeah.
Same diff at this point. Rarely do you see people playing a pure Omniscience build.
Rarely.
Rarely.
I play a deck that has Omniscience in it now.
Not the
It's Nick
same.
Fit.
Not the same.
Yep.
Okay.
Gonna hit himself for a ton. He could.
I mean,
he's got the Emrakul.
Yeah.
And he does. It is a sneak attack.
Oh, yeah. So he's really just waiting until this next turn. And that's going to be quite a hit. It's not going to kill, but it's probably going to be enough. Like, it'll reset Damon's board and put him to 5.
So here's my thing. There's the port. So knowing.
This is kind of the same as porting in this particular instance because you're still preventing him, but I still would have much rather just seen a port on the Ancient Tomb.
Yeah, so here's my thought. I was just about to say, do you run out the sneak attack on that turn so that you can activate it next?
Yeah.
But then I now see the opposite problem of it would have walked right into a Revoker, which would have been terrible.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
otherwise, so the line that Miles took got around Revoker, but it would not have gotten around Thalia.
Yeah, and here's.
Oh no, he has a City of Traders in hand. It would have gotten around that. Also a braid.
Okay. A braid's fine. See, I would have much rather. So, yeah. If you're Damon and you're passing with a port up there, you're untapping the next turn and you're putting your vial to 2. This means that your opponent now has to respect the fact. Well, I guess they can hold priority and activate.
Yeah.
They'll always get 1 activation out, but I don't know. It just leaves you with more options.
There's the sneak attack.
There's the sneak attack. Here's the red mana.
And Emrakul.
Nothing Damon can do to stop it. And that'll do.
Whoop. And there we are.
Damon does not want to play the game out from 5 life and no lands. That is reasonable.
Can't blame him.
Yeah. Damon might have only suddenly realized that's absolutely true. Did he announce targets as he cast the Revoker? We assume so. We're not listening in. Sneaky showy, I like it.
Yeah, you're hearing what we hear.
Yeah. Quite literally. More sideboarding back and forth from these players, though.
Yeah, I mean, Damon's got another opportunity here to really adjust. Because in this match, like, Miles knows the same stuff he knew going into the first bit.
Exactly, yeah. Damon is now they're both kind of on the level. Oh, yeah, pointing out.
Pointing to the pedal is a pretty good way. It was also what he named on the first game.
Indeed.
All right.
I'm going to take this moment to just step out for a quick bio break.
Yeah, no worries. We'll I'll hold down the fort, as it were. While they are boarding, we can talk about some. Whoop, whoop, you're caught there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so he pointed at the pedal. Miles fetched to be able to pull mana he needed for Abrade, to then Abrade the Revoker, so he could get out the sneak attack on the next turn and sneak in the Emrakul. Anyways, while we are waiting for them to start their next game, take a moment to do a little bit of plugs here. We are round 3 of 4 tonight, so we've got one more round. Depending on how fast this game goes, we may go find a backup match for this round. We probably will. Anyways, we've got at least one more round after this that we're going. We do Monday Legacy paper here on this channel, Card Kingdom, almost every Monday. We start at 6:30 Pacific time. Please adjust to your time zones accordingly. But we do this almost every week. As we said earlier, about 46 to 50 weeks a year. We lose out to a couple holidays and things like that. But also on this channel, there's a whole lot of stuff. There's, I think it's on Tuesdays. Card Kingdom also hosts Card Kingdom draws. If you order cards to be shipped from Card Kingdom, you can request a hand-drawn token, and they are quite nice. On Tuesday, I believe the stream features people showing how they draw those cards live. It's quite neat. Thursday, we've got Modern in Bellevue. Yeah, Shriljak just pointed that out as well. Thursday nights, we host Modern here at the same starting time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. And upcoming this Saturday, the 13th of April, is our Legacy Preservation Series 1K. That'll be an all-day-ish Saturday tournament starting around noon, going until whenever it's done. That tournament's usually large enough that we cut to top 8. So that'll be... that one will go usually till around 8 p.m. So you've got a whole day to tune in to some fantastic Legacy. So we are underway now in Game 3. Miles off to a pretty decent start here. Sitting on some lands. He's got at least one soul land in hand, but seeing the Thalia down on the other side from Damon is gonna put a little bit of a kibosh on what he's got going on. Thalia, though, I think is the right play from Damon. He's sitting on some stone forges, a second port, it looks like, and a Caracas. Yeah, and Miles with the sneak attack in hand, probably. Yeah, I think there's a sneak attack there, and a force, which isn't going to do a whole lot in terms of protection here. I do only see, I think, one City of Traders. So he's a little bit short on land right now because of that Thalia. Let's see what he gets off the top, and it's a fetch. That's actually about what he needs. He is still one turn behind because of this Thalia, preventing him there, but he at least now has the path to get that sneak attack down. I don't, however, see a creature worth sneaking in.
Speaking of sneaking in.
Oh, speaking of sneaking in,
fudged it.
Jake's back.
Fudged it.
I
I didn't put my mic down. Guys, I had such a good moment there that you guys just witnessed me totally flip on a banana peel off of.
Yeah, I would say rookie mistake, but you've done this much more than I have.
I know, that's the thing. I'm never gonna get good.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised they let me back after the first time.
Honestly,
Anyways.
man, we'll take anybody we can get.
Yeah,
we love having guests in the booth. This is a volunteer effort. Monday Night Legacy is a labor of love.
Exactly.
We have a setup, and we got some cats that really like Legacy, and that's about all that brings this broadcast to you guys. So thank you very much for watching,
Yes.
and enjoy.
Yeah. Oh, looks like a show and tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamming the show and tell instead of the sneak attack here, which is a pretty good choice. Now, little does Miles know, Damon is sitting on a Caracas in hand.
Ain't that the best? That's my favorite feeling in the world.
Yeah, which,
Yeah.
but going for, the better skull.
Oh wow! Wait, what? I'm okay.
I mean, there's not much that Miles could put in.
Oh! I'm thinking. Never mind. Yeah.
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 There's not much Miles could have put in that would have
Changed anything? Yeah.
Yeah, locked stuff down that way.
Yeah. I'm tripping.
No, that's fine. And now, when that Caracas comes down,
now Damon just slams the Caracas.
if he does not slam the Caracas,
Then I would go back to my previous reaction.
yes, yes.
That is what would happen. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Either that or there isn't actually a Caracas and I'm just blind as a bat.
Yeah.
But that is definitely.
Oh, and that's it too. We
Wow.
1-1 still?
Wait, because Caracas could have.
I'm very confused. Are we just kind of seeing like a non? No, Caracas can do it. Caracas can do it.
Because Emrakul's only got.
There's no question about that.
Yeah, Emrakul's only got
I've done
protection
this many
from.
a time.
Yeah, only
So
from colored
hold on,
spells.
let's just recap a little bit for anyone that's watching, because we obviously are a little confused here as well. What it looked like was that Miles resolved Show and Tell and Emrakul.
Yep.
Damon may have not realized that the card in his hand was an answer to that Emrakul by being able to return it to Miles' hand, and Miles doesn't have infinite Show and Tells.
Yeah, exactly.
Miles is definitely an experienced player, but I know him to be a D&T pilot, so I think, if anything, he may be new to the deck. I can't speak to it. But I've seen Miles around quite a bit. Damon, I think, is newer to the Monday Night Legacy room. Getting some nice tone off Patrick's microphone here. Just so you guys are reminded, and because I'm very self-conscious about it, we broadcast out of the middle of a game store with, not high, not low ceilings, but for what we're doing, not the highest ceilings either. Or not the lowest ceilings. Not super high ceilings. I got that mixed up in my head, y'all. It's getting towards the end of the night.
Guess who's coming back to the stream?
All right, Patrick, incoming. So what happened here? Did we talk that through a little bit?
Oh, no, I did not yet. I can go do that.
No. I just wondered what was. Oh, you looking for backup?
Yeah, I was looking for
Sweet.
backup.
Who do we got?
Table 9.
Yeah.
Tom Lynch is returning
Okay.
to redeem himself after round 1.
Good.
And he'll be on the right versus Lauren.
Good.
I will go check with Damon and Miles and see.
I mean, check it out. You may not. It's not always fun to realize that you did that.
I'll see, yeah.
But it's important so he doesn't do it again. All right, Tom will be on the right and Lauren Mulligan on the left. Lauren is our resident lands expert, in my opinion. She has been playing lands for as long as it's been a deck, I believe. She, her, Lauren Mulligan, Tom Lynch, he, him. Dial it in, everybody. This is the match. These are the players. The Fear. Lands versus the Fear. Is that the Tom Lynch? Well, regrettably, I only know one Tom Lynch. Because if I knew two, I could call him the evil Tom Lynch. But when you only know one, you gotta be both. You gotta be both sides of that spectrum. Yes, that is Tom Lynch, looking like a kindergarten playroom mat. Tom Lynch is about to have a bunch of 8-year-olds do nap time on top of his shirt.
Yes.
That is what I think of.
Okay, so it is 1-1. Lauren is on the play. I did check with the.
I love Tom Lynch, so I can't go too hard, but I'm holding back on the shirt a little bit. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's a bit much.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Is she
Mrs. Mulligan online? Let me double check that. I actually am not sure if that's someone else or if that's Lauren.
In the meantime,
Yeah.
I did check in with the previous players. So the last two players that we had on there, that was Damon's first. It's Damon's first night at Legacy.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
and he.
shout outs to Damon for playing on camera then. Really big shout outs.
Oh yeah, and he realized afterwards it's like, oh, that's what Caracas does.
Yeah.
So that's
hey,
why he scooped up.
hey.
He didn't quite see what
Here-
Caracas did, which is fine.
So, as someone who also learned to play Legacy with the deck Death and Taxes, that is how you learn.
Yep. On the flip side, Milo realized that he could have cast Show and Tell on turn 1 and had turn 1 Emrakul from Show and Tell
So
because
it's
he
that.
top decked the Lotus Petal after having the opening hand with the City of Traders.
Everybody's good at Magic.
Everyone's great at Magic.
For the update to chat, I just double checked because I didn't know. I'm not privy. There is someone named Mrs. Mulligan. It is not Lauren. I'm sure that Lauren gets that all the time though. So I feel for that. That's probably not that fun.
Yeah. All right. Lauren on a mulligan. Now, Lauren is an incredibly good lands player.
Yeah. Every time I play against a lands player, so every time I see, so if you were to ask me what my lands matchup is like, I would feel like in a lot of my stuff, I feel like I'm pretty good. If you would ask me what my Lauren Mulligan matchup is like, it's awful. It's so negative.
Same.
It's so thoroughly bad.
Oh yeah.
I have lost to a lot of what's it? Oh shoot! Now I'm forgetting it. What's the one of in lands that lets them dump their hand?
Oh.
Why can I not? Why when I need the name of the card? Well, everybody knows what I'm talking about if you play Legacy now.
Yeah.
And
Mana
Mana Bond.
Bond,
Thanks so much,
yes.
chat. Thanks so much. It's only because I needed the name right then. Yeah, I've gotten Mana Bonded on turn 1 against Lauren like more times than I can count on my hand.
Yes. Mana Bond. To the online version. Yeah. Oh, it's gross. Such a good card, though.
I mean,
Like,
it does
it's disgustingly
it does
good.
Stupid things. It is what enables the really fast wins in that deck, and it's only like the one of, right?
Yeah.
But people talk about lands as being this like turn 1 or 2 combo deck. It's like that really only happens like some number of the time. But when it does, it is a turn 2 combo deck. It's done. Lights out.
And you're just like,
Lauren's always around me at day 2. Legacy GP, she's really good. Yeah, true facts. Lauren always
True
makes
facts.
deep runs at GPs.
oh yeah. We've had a couple people make deep runs.
Yeah. Especially at Legacy around
especially
here.
Legacy.
Yeah, we have a lot of folks who
Defend the house.
who defend the house. Yeah, absolutely. Miranda Keith, top 8 competitor in the house tonight. Daniel Duterte was here a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Winner of the last GP Seattle. Unfortunately, we will not have a Legacy Grand
event.
Prix event, but
Yeah.
we will have a Mythic Championship, which is pretty cool. And definitely something that I'm probably going to play in instead of the main event. Now the problem is that those things are kind of like you really have to run hot to top 8 those.
Oh yeah.
Because I think they're like 6-round tournaments with like 200 some people in it. Like they're capped at a certain amount of rounds.
Yeah. There's no house to defend. There's no battle to defend the house this year.
Yeah, I mean there
house
is
is
sort of, I guess, for like if you talk to other people in Seattle, I'm sure they'd probably be hyped about it. But like as far as Legacy is concerned, no one really cares.
There is the Puget Sound Battleground.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to that. It's a one-day tournament that's happening on May the 4th. It will be cast. It's not run by Card Kingdom, but it is a Pacific Northwest Legacy Spectacular.
Yeah, it'll be a Legacy tournament and a Modern tournament happening the same day.
There's a 93-94 tournament going on.
Yeah, but it's basically just like one day. Dylan booked one awesome day.
Yeah.
At the Tacoma Convention Center, where instead of, or rather, sort of because GP Seattle is not a constructed event, we can have essentially a day of like all different awesome constructed events and like a celebration of them.
Okay. By the way, Lauren just ghost quartered her own thespian stage to get after floating 1 mana to be able to loam.
The plays, ladies and gentlemen.
So if you were wondering before why we were saying that Lauren is such a good lands player,
These are the plays.
lines like this are why she's such a damn good lands player. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, family store.
Shush, sorry. Nothing happened.
But yeah, wow.
I love it. Oh my god. That was awesome. Good call. Very good call.
The Pithing Needle down by Tom, I'm betting is naming Thespian Stage.
Super Cobra's going for old school to the Puget Sound. That's rad.
Nice.
Yeah, old school seems fun, man. It's not a format I have the brain power or wallet for, but it seems if someone handed me a deck, I'd give it a shot. You know, I'd probably play a bunch of stupid ways or do a bunch of stupid things. Dredging. Ooh, not a great dredge.
Not a good dredge.
One Ghost Quarter though is not bad.
Yeah.
Like we're
Um,
working with 2 Ghost Quarters now. We can start to just tear apart our lands, our opponents. But now
Crop
we're
rotation,
also
though.
racing. We're also racing a True Name. So.
yeah. Crop rotation in hand for Lauren as well.
Yeah. To answer someone's question earlier, the Fear is a rug and/or teamer-based deck that plays, basically intuition for lands packages and life from the low. And
Yeah.
then around those cards, it plays just a control/mid-range shell of like Tarmogoyf's Bolts, Brainstorms, Force of Wills, Snapcaster Mages. Yeah, it can play a mid-range game, but it also just really wants to be casting intuition for like game-winning or like, you know, game-shifting cards, game-breaking cards.
Yep. Yeah, the main way that the deck wins is just, intuition for stage, depths,
And like
loam.
a loam, or like a wasteland or something if you already have the
If you already got
have
loam
the
access, yeah.
But yeah, intuition for those 3 specifically is a great way to get the engine online. I don't know what that artifact is, actually.
That's a pithing needle.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
You said that earlier, and I forgot. And also, I have a big play mat of that art, and
It's a really good art.
I look at it every time, and I think, that's the masterwork art for Aether Vial. And then I'm like, nope, that's not it at all. It's Pithing Needle.
Nice try, Super Chief.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's the Glacial Chasm. That should help at least stymie the bleeding.
All right. Yeah, it's still on the old True Name clock, though.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people also,
He's got
going
places
back to
be.
my previous statement of Modern Horizons, people want True Name Nemesis in Modern Horizons.
They don't deserve to play Magic.
No.
That's the end of that discussion. They need to think
the
really
worst
hard
choice.
about their lives.
It's just a bad choice.
They need to yeah.
True Name is a bad card.
I didn't even try. I didn't even expect to get that heated about what you just said.
I know, I'm sorry.
Wow, I can't even imagine thinking such a thing and enjoying this game and having fun. What a weird combination.
Merfolk players in Modern are desperate. That doesn't make it okay.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It doesn't make it okay.
You did just empathize me to the sentiment just a tiny bit. You did.
But
so
they're
mission
real
accomplished.
desperate.
Mission accomplished.
Here comes out a force from Tom, forcing that gamble.
True Name was 100% a mistake because it's not bannable, but it's the most obnoxious card on the planet.
The best thing about True Name that I personally believe that Council's Judgment was printed as a way to remove True Name Nemesis.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
you're not wrong.
Yeah, it was not made. It was like neat. It's a neat voting card, but also it was written in a way that it made sure that it could kill True Name.
Yeah. Interesting. Also, yeah, stage is needled, and so, and also this is a deck where, it's good on Tom to do that, right?
Yeah. Be proactive with that, because Tom can run out the mid-range game.
And these decks both run the stage combo, so it's like kind of you have to play this weird game of like protecting it.
Yeah.
And right now, Tom's just saying, you know what? No one's making 2020s. I'm going to beat you with this True Name Nemesis.
Yeah. I don't need a 2020. I'll beat with a 3-1. That'll be fine. There's a crop rotation.
All right. True Name is absolutely bannable. It's not even meant for one-on-one. I actually would absolutely take that as a viable reasoning against everyone who says that it's not bannable.
Yeah.
Well said, frankly. Very, nice. Corcruxion. Thank you.
Yep.
This card was designed with multiplayer in mind, and as such, we deem it blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
But then all the Merfolk players in Legacy will get desperate.
You know what? Something tells me that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
So Chasm is not great here. No.
Not really.
For this position, not much is, I guess. That's the thing.
Chasm can buy Lauren a turn worth of attacks.
Yeah, so Lauren's real out here.
Or 1 life.
Lauren's real out here is engineered explosives.
Yeah.
And at this point with Tom upticking, I do not think she's going to have a way to reliably achieve that.
Probably not.
Yeah.
That said, yeah. Oh, there's one of
There's
them.
one, yeah. There's
Yeah,
one off
that's
the
the problem.
dredge.
I
And I
don't
think
know.
I think she has an academy.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. Academy Ruins is the way to get that back.
But yeah, I mean her lands list is super developed right now. And
Yeah.
it is definitely like designed to stay in the meta.
Oh, wait,
versus
she already
the
had an
regular.
EE in
Oh,
hand.
well there you go.
That solves that.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
Yep.
Lauren may be able to stabilize. She'll still have to fight a Jace, but that's a lot easier for lands to do than other decks, I think.
Yeah. She'll have to fight a Jason. She still has to fight through a Pithing Needle.
Yeah. Oh,
Wrong way,
going,
Tom.
going to 5. Going to 5. 5 to 20.
Tom hasn't even... Oh, no, Tom's gained life back from the growth.
Yeah.
It's like, he's fetched. What am I talking about? What is that?
Wait, is that a price?
That it is.
Is that a price of progress?
That's a price of progress.
What?
To cinch the win there for Tom Lynch.
Wow. What a villain. What an evil, evil child.
Ellen like a villain. That puts Tom at 2-1 now.
You know,
So he's
Lauren
only...
did such a good job of
Yes.
navigating that match under the gun of a true name nemesis. Getting it to where she was within the final turns of being able to stabilize and successfully doing so for the most part.
Which art was that? That must have... Oh, it must have been... Yeah, probably.
All of her lands were tapped. She could waste herself, but it's still going to deal 4, I believe, if not more. I think it was going to deal... It must have dealt 6 if she wasted herself. Otherwise, she wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Or he had not... No, he did attack. Yeah, they talked through it. She clearly didn't have the math. Lauren wouldn't concede if it wasn't otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go see if we can get a third backup match.
Yeah, go check
We'll
it out
see.
with 13 minutes. We'll see.
There's enough time. There's enough time.
Yeah, and also at that point, she's just dead to the next true name swing without an answer to true name and no way to activate. It only dealt 2. There was a forest. There was a wasteland. Oh, it would have dealt 2. I see what you're saying. So there were 4 total lands on the battlefield, correct? So the issue there being you waste yourself, you untap. Interesting. Is that a ballista? Yeah, it looks like. Lauren with some sweet tech. As we saw, she's on this Trop Splash. Wow. Hey, that's good. Whoever. Patrick. Oh boy. Oh, what? Oh no, I didn't see that movement. What is going on? What is going on, y'all? Hey.
Looks like no backup match, but yes.
Oh, okay.
What were you gonna...
Oh, there was some camera movement,
Oh, that
but
was me. I was trying to readjust it.
okay, yeah. No, it looks good. It looks good.
That way the life pad's in range.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab some more water and then we can talk some more about
Sounds
stuff.
good. All right, that's it for round 3. You guys, 12 minutes left before round 4, last round of the night of our Monday Night Legacy charade here in Mox Boarding House Ballard's lovely visage, lovely home visage. It's getting late, folks. 9/12.
It is.
9/12 is my birthday, actually, September 12th. Yeah.
Happy birth hour?
Thank you.
Like, I don't know. If
Birth
that's a
minute, frankly.
thing. Yeah.
So everybody gets a birth minute.
So apparently, from talking to Tom there, the other game that he won in this match, if we send it back to the casting booth, both of the games he won in that match, Lauren had to mull to 4.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah,
That's not a fun way to start.
kind of makes the deck
Although
a
that
little
makes
bit better.
her, yeah, that means that makes sense for her early play where she ghost quartered herself.
Well,
to
yeah,
do
she
give the loam. That's such a perfect 4-mana hand. Like if you just have like land, ghost quarter, loam, anything else, you know what I mean? Like something else, then you can go for it. Very cool. But yeah, that is how it goes.
But yeah. So, for those of you, if anyone is just joining us, we have one more round of Legacy action tonight.
Yes.
Coming to you live from Mox Boarding House, Seattle.
Ballard even.
Ballard, yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ballard now.
I love how they can both locations can be abbreviated to MBHB.
And the whole reason why they didn't want to keep calling the brick and mortar store Card Kingdom was to like minimize confusion, and now
Hey,
the
listen.
two can be confused for each other.
Listen, we live in the world, right?
We live in a society.
Shh, I was trying to not go direct. I was trying to not go directly there.
Oh man.
Calm shirt, IDK him, but I feel like he is either very quiet or kindergarten teacher loud. I guess he's not quite that loud, but he's also not quiet.
Yeah.
He falls thoroughly between that spectrum.
Yes.
You got to get him talking,
Mhm.
but he won't like just come out on his own.
True. Very true.
Yeah. Cool deck though. Well, he usually plays the worst deck, so it's always nice to see him play cool decks.
Sometimes
Every time I see him, I ask if he's playing something fun, and whenever he says no, I shame him. So
Yeah. He does play a lot of sneak and show.
yeah,
Yeah. And he's very good at it.
he's not famous store play. He does not have a James Johnson cackle. That is
No.
correct.
And he does not have a whiteboarded Jordan Isaka cackle.
Yeah,
either.
he doesn't have a Jordan Isaka blow up, and he doesn't have a James Johnson cackle.
Yeah.
And those are the two minted
Seattle
capital
Legacy
B
tropes.
branded Seattle Legacy truisms that exist in our sphere.
Oh yeah.
That is how you know you're home.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
hear Jordan Isaka screaming from across the tables.
Or when you hear him
Or
start
when
off,
you hear,
"Yo, what up? It's your boy Jordan Isaka here."
oh my god. Hey, he's great. He's one of the reasons I even play Legacy in the first
yeah.
place, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
My favorite.
Big shout outs to Jordan for hyping up the format.
Yeah, my favorite Jordan Isaka trivia is he created a Facebook fan page, but there's not really a good like.
I think I am a fan, yeah.
Yeah, there's not really a good fan category for professional Magic players. So he or like just like Magic player. So he is a professional athlete is
Yeah.
the category
Yeah. He's
of
definitely.
page. And so I've given him a hard time
Oh
for that.
man, big shout outs to Jordan Isaka. I know that he has an early bedtime on Monday nights these days.
Yeah.
So we miss you, buddy, but we know that you're out there. And we'll probably see you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Saturday,
Yeah, this Saturday.
did you know that there is a 1K tournament in Bellevue?
What's that?
Yeah, it's a tournament where the total prize pool is $1,000 of Card Kingdom credit, divvied out amongst the top 8 players in whatever fashion it may end up being divvied out in. And it feeds into the LPS 1K series, which feeds into an invitational that we have once a year for Legacy out here. It's kind of just meant to replace. There's ever since Star City went to being an East Coast only thing. There's nothing that really is like a heavy organized Magic tournament circuit up and down the West Coast. And obviously, the Legacy Preservation Series is a bit more of a niche thing than the Star City circuit, but it's filling the gap that the Star City Legacy tournaments would categorically bring out a ton of people on the Northwest Coast. So yeah, we have a smaller tournament series up here specifically for Legacy, and the 32 best players of the season get invites throughout the year. It culminates in a 32-player thing happening in July. I will likely be talking about Magic cards at that event, if not doing something else behind the scenes. I don't think I'm going to qualify because I've not been grinding weekly points, and hey, we'll roll the dice on Saturday. We'll see.
Yeah,
But-
I know. I've never gotten close.
Yeah. So
but I
Real
may
Jack
also
in the chat will be there.
I may be in the booth.
Yeah, who knows? Like, we're all a little too far away from that to be making those shots right now. But it's fun, and it's a Legacy tournament that if you are in the Northwest area and you can travel to Seattle to play in some monthly tournaments, you have a shot at getting an invitational. The prize of the invitational, which we should probably bring up, is all expenses. I think it's like flight and hotel.
Yeah.
Maybe just flight,
hotel, and I think
and
entrance.
entry. Yeah, I think it's flight, hotel, and entry to Eternal Weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, not like all expenses paid, but pretty close.
But the big expenses.
Yeah,
paid.
big expenses paid, which is obviously like a good chunk of cash if you would think of that as prize equivalent. And it's a good if you're an Eternal player playing in a Legacy Invitational tournament. The odds are, I think here, that you would enjoy going to Eternal Weekend. For free.
We're just about to wrap up round 3 of 4 tonight.
Correct. Thank you.
We've got one more round coming up. It'll be good. So we hope. That's always the aim.
It'll be
Um,
something. We'll roll some dice with the matchups and what we see. Sometimes it's a quick one, sometimes it's a long one. I know I'm getting sleepy. So.
Oh yeah. Speaking of some other stuff that you can find on the Card Kingdom Twitch channel, Thursday nights Modern at I think 6:30. That one runs out of Bellevue.
Yep. Yeah. Same channel, slightly different layout because now we have 2 different rigs, so that's cool. Yeah, we don't
even
have
know
to
that.
ship the same laptop back and forth each time.
That's good.
So yeah, broadcast out of the Mox Boarding House Bellevue location. They've got big tournament room over there. It is the game store that you see on everyone's, on all of the Wizards promotional material, basically.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they shoot a lot of photographs in there.
Turns out it's close and it looks pretty
And
good.
it's like one of the best examples of a game store.
Yeah.
So yeah, synergy, baby.
But yeah, they have tournament space for like I think 128 or something like that. It's big. Like that's what some of the
it's
1Ks
I
have
believe
gone
it's
up to.
128, if not more.
Yeah. So that's where a lot of the big events, the regular events are. Like the one coming up on the 13th we've been talking about.
Yeah, this Saturday I'll be there playing Legacy. We'll have some cats casting that. It should be pretty fun.
Yeah. Some of the other days.
I have to prepare.
Yeah. Some of the other days of the week this week during the daytime-ish, there's now more streams that are coming out on the Card Kingdom Twitch channel.
Yeah, it's true.
There's one I was talking about that I think is on Tuesdays, which is the Card Kingdom Draws, where it's live drawing of the custom tokens that you can request on your Card Kingdom orders.
Cool, very cool.
They've got a couple people that'll come in and play Arena.
Yeah,
I think Chris
Hallie.
Hallie plays Arena. Chris Van Meter
Pauper.
plays Pauper on MTGO.
He's got a weekly Pauper thing that's popping. I think it's on Wednesdays. Maybe it's on Tuesdays.
It's on Wednesdays, but I've also seen remnants of it on like a Monday from us like coming in and stuff still being set for him.
Oh yeah, no, I know that, but I just meant like as far as when it actually happens for the people to watch it, it's Wednesdays.
I think it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Then sometimes every once in a while, the Card Kingdom employees also have like their own regular leagues that either are running like battle decks or some weird sealed leagues, and so they'll broadcast the finals of that too.
Yeah, it is
Also,
not just us on Twitch.tv/CardKingdom.
It's not.
We're there's a whole our buddy Chris, who used to be running the show back here and who still runs this show.
Yeah.
Is the producer of the stream, so he's doing a lot of work to put in.
Oh yeah.
A number of different things to watch.
Yep. Also, I think coming up next month is the Gauntlet, which is a board game themed sort of charity event.
Yeah.
Which goes on over the weekend.
They've been doing that for a number of years now.
Yeah, they've done that a couple times. In the past, teams from all across board gaming and Magic have been there. Wizards has sent a team before. Loading Ready Run was here for a team as a team one year.
All the game developer usually have teams like all the game in all the tech companies as well.
Yeah, so Microsoft specifically I think 343 Industries sent a team.
Yeah. I'm sure Bungie probably has a team.
Yeah, Bungie's got a team too. Anyways, they send teams of 3 or 4 to play and compete in board games on a Saturday and raise money for charity. Each team gets to pick their own charity too, I believe.
Something like that.
Something like that. I'm not 100% sure on the details. I just do the legacy casting. But while we've got you here and we've got time to fill, I'll tell you about it because it's a really cool event. And it's something that I will either be helping out with or will be watching intently from home. And it's very enjoyable. It's always fun people playing fun games. It's not Magic, but you can branch out and learn a bit about tabletop games. So you can sort of start suckering in your friends that are like, I'm not so keen on Wizard Poker, but Settlers of Catan I can do. Get them hooked on that entry drug.
It's just an interesting board games. Board games are weird because they're an ostensibly social activity, right? But I guess obviously there's so many board games that I can't really say this without being a nerd and caveating. But my point is that you sit down to play a traditional board game, somebody's got to win. Everybody better be cool with people doing what they have to do to win these games. So otherwise, it's going to be more of a social experience than it is a game. And those are kind of different in my book.
So I have a fun story about that. My family, for a while, played a lot of Carcassonne.
Okay.
Which is a very fun game.
I don't remember. I've learned it at one point in time, but I don't remember it super well.
Oh, it's a super fun game. You're building the map with the tiles as you go.
Yeah.
it was my wife's first time playing the game with my family, and my family has finally picked up on this. In that game, farms are the way to go.
Okay.
Like, farm-heavy strategies win
the
you
good
games
strat.
of Carcassonne.
Word. That's
Real
just the
facts
meta.
right here.
Yeah.
That's the
yeah,
meta.
That's the meta.
Farm meta.
Yeah.
My wife had two options with her last play. Something that could have gotten her more points but would have clinched me the victory, or something that would have just thrown away her piece. And I was very careful in letting her know, if you play here, you'll get the most points.
Haha.
Leaving out the fact that it would also secure me the
Win you
victory.
the game.
That did not go over well.
Hey, listen. Sometimes Magic players just try to get the best value, and the results are the results.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happens.
That is what happens.
Life's a learning lesson.
Yep,
That's
we
funny.
are in time in the round, though. We've got looks like one more match wrapping up
Yeah.
on turns. Yeah.
God, there is this blissful period of time, and it still is sort of the case, but not tonight, where after Top got banned, like, no Legacy round went to time, like, at all.
There was like a nice three.
Yeah, it
months.
just stopped happening almost entirely, and it was such a pleasant surprise when the round would end, and you'd look at the clock and be like 5 minutes left, and be like, this is fantastic.
I remember I was here once. This, I swear, has only happened once. The round ended with 15 minutes left.
Yeah, no, I think I remember, because at one point it was like, everyone was like, I was like, are we serious? This is a joke? Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you could see what an impact that Sensei's Divining Top and its role in Miracles played on the format. It was I feel like it's so interesting. Like, I've gone through this thing where, like, I learned to play Magic at this point a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But relative to a lot of cats around here, not that long ago.
Yeah. When did you start playing?
So I started playing, like, casually in about 2010 or 2011.
Oh, okay.
And then I started playing seriously. I started playing Constructed more seriously in, like, 2013.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then kind of played my way through Standards, and then through Modern, and then up through Legacy.
Nice.
So what happened was, and that actually speaks to my point, is that I entered Modern when Splinter Twin was, like, king of the format. So I basically learned to play the entire format based around whether or not my opponent could kill me on turn 4 with a Splinter Twin.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, I learned to play Legacy right when Top Miracles was the best deck in the format, unquestionably. So I learned to play Legacy based around the fact that my opponent could always have turn 1 Divining Top, turn 2 Counterbounce, and hose me. So it's like, those are, like, the biggest, like, in retrospect, with 2020 vision, I, like, am so appreciative of those gauntlets that I had to go through now that those cards are deemed, like, banned and, like, not, the cards are deemed too powerful for the format. It's like, oh, wow, like, I don't know, like, you learn a lot playing against these, like, kind of busted strategies that aren't too busted, but they stick around long enough that they end up getting banned. And people always want to bring, like, whenever anyone, like, I don't think anyone who wants to bring Splinter Twin back in Modern has ever played against Splinter Twin. I think they've only played Splinter Twin.
Yeah.
And that explains it. That explains why they would have that opinion.
And it's the fact that one of the reasons they got rid of Splinter Twin was it's just so easy to fit into any deck.
Yeah.
It's
absurd, right?
You need 4 Splinter Twins and 4 either Pestermites or Deceiver Exarchs.
Yeah. You need 4 Counterbounce and 4 Sensei's Divining Top. You know what I mean? Like, these types of, like, very, like, just, they're not necessarily, like, they're not busted in the most traditional sense, but they are, like, choke points. They're big choke points on the format.
They skew the format too much.
Yeah.
That said,
I used to beat Splinter Twin, but it was dumb. Same. Exact same statement. Yes, correct. It was not fun. It involved them not top decking Splinter Twin, a lot of the time when they could, and me having, like, a race position. It's just not that fun, in my opinion. Like, really, like, a gruel to play against.
Yeah. I do think, though, like, there are a lot of other decks that got harmed by Top getting banned.
Yeah, actually, someone's pointing that out. It would be interesting to ban Counterbalance and unban Top.
I think not Counterbalance, but maybe Counterbalance and Terminus.
Oh, maybe both.
Maybe both.
Because just Top and Terminus would be quite a bit as well. That would be a lot,
Top and Terminus definitely was, like, the other top contender if they just wanted to hit Miracles.
Yeah.
But they wanted to hit just the slow play that Top allows.
Yeah.
Because it just, drastically multiplies the number of decision points you have to make every single turn. And And it's just like, oh, let me just check again. Oh, let me just check again.
That was honestly my least favorite part. Like, there were certain Miracles players that I had no problem playing against, and then there were Miracles players, usually ones that I didn't know very well, that, yeah, you would just be sitting there and like it was, you would watch them top, and then they would look at the top, and then they would look back at their hand, and then they would look back at the, and you would just be like, seriously, like,
You know what I would love to see? I would love to see a fixed top. And the way they fix it is just switch the costs on the two abilities. You tap to look and rearrange the top 3. You pay 1 to stick it on top and draw.
oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Because then you can only use it once a turn.
Right,
You're
right.
not constantly relooking.
Right,
it's still
right.
protectable that way. Maybe you have to pay 1 in tap to rearrange your
Something
top
like
3.
that. Yeah. Something
yeah.
a little less busted. Yeah.
Basically make it so it's only once a turn that you can add stuff. Oh, hey, Chris.
Nifty Chris, the Neo Spiffy Star
That's me.
casting. Oh, that's you.
That's me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
That's fair to take Terminus and Counterbalance. Yeah.
Yeah. That said, we live in a world where now there is no Sensei's Divining Top, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's chill. Whenever. I don't know. I can live without it.
Yeah.
I mean, I also thought it was cool that a lot of the, I appreciated that, like, you know, if you looked up like any fringe tier 2 deck in Modern, chance or in Legacy, chances were it was running like 3 Sensei's Divining Top somewhere.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. Nickfit was running it because it was a card selection that you could
Yep.
run
Yep.
that was not able to be hit by your own Pernicious Deeds.
Yeah. Very cool.
And now it does not really have anything that fills that role, and so it compensates in other strange ways.
Yeah, of course. Deck's gone in very different directions since then. Even has branched out into certain sub-archetypes.
Yes,
I.e. Academy. Tell me about Academy Rectors.
and Arena Rector.
And
I was
Arena
trying.
Rectors.
So, I run a YouTube channel where I talk about weird Magic decks.
Yes.
So far,
Yeah.
it's all been Legacy decks because that's what I play the most.
Of course.
I'm going to do one on an EDH deck soon, but I spent 8 months chasing my white whale of a Legacy deck. Just before Arena Rector was printed, I was working on a Planeswalker Nick Fit list that used Academy Rector to get out Doubling Season,
I remember this.
and then do dumb things with Planeswalkers in Doubling Season.
That is exactly what Planeswalkers in Doubling Season does.
Yeah. Turns out the 3-color Tameo, you get to just get a free Omniscience off of that. It's great. Well, a 4-mana Omniscience.
It's
Regardless, it's great.
3-mana Omniscience.
I chased that for a long time and then just kept trying to tweak the version that ran Academy Rector and Arena Rector for like 8 months till I finally gave up. And then a guy in Italy won a 4K big Legacy tournament with a list that had 4 of each Rector.
Oh.
I was 3 cards off of his list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
kind of
okay. It was
that's
about
kinda
it was about
crazy.
4 cards
Had
off.
you previously like posted it anywhere or anything
No.
like that? That's crazy.
No, I was 4 cards
great
away.
minds think alike.
But they were really important. So he
Okay.
ran Omniscience. He sort of harkened back to the original. So the original Academy Rector Nick Fit list used Diabolic Intent, Academy Rector, and Emrakul, all in the deck. So you would sack the Arena Rector, get Omniscience, and with the Diabolic Intent, you would end up pulling the Emrakul and then just cast it for free.
Yeah.
And this sort of harkened back to that by running those again.
We got to do it. We got to do Greg Mitchell and Eli Chipotle.
Yeah, let's do it.
Table 2. These are the 3-0 players.
Yep. They're 3-0. They're fighting the good fight. I will go find them.
Yeah, go check it out. I'll get it lined up.
All right.
I got you.
Thank you. Oh.
Hey, buddy. Table dose, please. All right. It's funny, I don't have to ask if they're going to draw because it's Greg Mitchell. All right, I believe we have a Grixis v. Burn matchup here. And I don't think Greg is on anything cute. I think he's on regular Grixis, not Grixis. Okay. Greg is on the right. Okay. It's all good. I was just saying that Greg is, I think, on regular Grixis or check pile and not on like cat combo or something silly like that.
I want it to be cat combo.
Don't we
So
all?
good. Yeah, it's Grixis something, but the cat combo deck looks like Grixis stuff.
Yeah, of course. I love Eli's balanced playmat.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Eli on burn, yeah.
Yep.
But no, the other pieces. So sorry, finishing up the story that I was on. If anybody still cares.
Yeah.
But the list that I found from the guy in Italy, I've got his name too. I can pull it up in a sec. But it was running as the only planeswalkers in the deck, 2 Ugins and 1 Nicol Bolas,
Oh.
rather than 3 separate planeswalkers, which makes sense because turns out Ugin is good. I was running
just kind of just only get that. That's fine.
6 mana Sorin is also really good, but not quite as good. And then had the Omniscience in the main board, and then had Emrakul in the sideboard to Living Wish for.
Interesting.
Yeah. All in all, it was so relieved that I'm like, okay, I was on to something, that someone cracked this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm a little sad I didn't crack it myself.
Right.
That said, I would have never thought to mix things up that way. So.
Well,
Yeah.
Magic's fun for that reason. It's kind of
Exactly.
a hive mind gets to attack all these different ideas, right?
Building stuff, for me, is a lot of the fun.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Eli has decided to recently become a die roll of a Magic player. Instead of only being the Monolith Dredge player, he is now the Manaless Dredge or Burn player. So it's cool. He loves to play the villain role and is a very good Manaless Dredge pilot.
Both of those, I think, are decks that are very healthy for the format.
Exactly. And so he has decided to be the local boogeyman in a sense and to be always playing one of these decks, but to try his best to make sure that you never know which one he is playing. If it's round 1, I guess.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's on you.
Sorry, I'm trying to look up the name of the guy with the really good Nickfit list.
No worries. All right, Eli's off to the races, and Greg is probably like, oh, wow, I did not realize this happened. Yep, and that's going to be a land up the hand, though.
Yep.
Drawing a UC for Greg.
So Red Hot 19, the first step to getting good at building decks is being really bad at building decks. The first deck I ever built was Turbo Shared Fate.
That's
and
amazing.
It went through 5 different revisions before it was even had a chance of winning anything. So it takes some time. Just start trying. And
Patience is always good.
Start trying. It's good. Turbo Shared Fate was so much fun.
Oh my
I
god.
still love that deck. Still so proud of that deck.
What does Eli have? Ooh boy. Follow up Eidolon of the Great Revel even before attack step.
Oof.
Yeah, this is the burn start, especially against Greg Mitchell's deck, which is going to be, this is we still I think this might be 4 color, considering there's a Verdant Catacombs.
I'd be willing to guess that.
Let's take a look.
Okay,
See,
can we
yep,
see?
Leovold. Okay,
Yep, there's a
changing.
Leovold. Yep.
It's back, baby.
Okay. The name of the guy that cracked the 8 Rector list, by the way, in my opinion, is, and I'm not.
This is the worst possible matchup for check pile.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Is Ludovico Pagliucci.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, anyone that speaks Italian.
I believe
don't.
if it's the double C's, I think that's a chi.
No, it's like a GHI.
GHI. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to try.
Yeah. But if you look for that, I'll type it up in chat.
It's not that important.
It's not important, but I'm still going to.
Greg Mitchell going to take 2 to the Dome and then 2 from the Goblin Guide, which is whacking in. Meanwhile, ooh, follow-up Sulfuric Vortex. My God. This is just a 1, 2, 3. This is the curve. This is the curve, you guys. If you're playing Burn and you don't actually want to cast Burn spells like Lightning Bolt, this is the curve. Baleful Strix. Honestly, nothing. Like, Eli does not need to play another Magic card in this game until Greg deals with the Sulfuric Vortex. He is set.
Yeah. Eli firmly in the driver's seat.
I was just saying, like, this was a nutso game 1.
Yeah, There's not much more Eli could have hoped for in this.
Yeah.
This is the dream
Yeah.
for most Burn players.
I was just saying, it's like if you're not casting lightning bolts, then you want to go Goblin Guide, Eidolon, Sulfuric Vortex for sure.
to be fair, okay, there is one thing that could make this better for Eli, and that's drawing a Price of Progress.
Yeah. Oh my
and
god.
that just locks it away.
QC, I'm a friend of Eli, and he will be absolutely delighted to know that you believe that. And
Yeah.
I also share that sentiment.
Yeah. So Greg now at least has a blocker he can sort of stymie against the Goblin Guide assaults. Sort of. But doesn't really have a good answer against that Sulfuric Vortex, especially since he already tossed away that Abrupt Decay on the Eidolon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
that's
Chain
I mean
Lightning.
that's the thing, right? Like, did he even have another removal spell he could have used? He probably did, but I can't tell.
Yep. There's a Rift Bolt
You know, he must
suspended.
not have, because otherwise he'd be brainstorming, but he can't brainstorm because it's an Eidolon. So you just have to use the one you have. And
has
he has
a-
an edict.
There's a Brainstorm, an Edict, a
Yeah.
Thoughtseize.
No, this is just rough stuff. Eli's hand
Yeah.
was just too good.
Yeah.
I don't even know, you know, like
There's not a whole lot you can do when Burn has just the nut draw like
yeah.
this.
Yeah, Sulfuric Vortex is a lot. And here it's gonna come down.
Trying. Oh, yeah. Taking 2 from the Vortex. Okay.
Greg gonna
Yep.
brainstorm. You know, maybe he can find a decay right here.
Yeah.
Stymie the bleeding.
He can
He's
rip-
looking at that fatal push going, man, I really wish I had used that earlier. Maybe he had it. Maybe he didn't.
I don't think he had it.
He
no.
must not have.
He's got a K
He
command.
must, yeah. Sometimes they just cook you absolutely true. It is how the deck operates.
Yep.
Oh, it was on top of the deck. Rough stuff.
Yep.
All right, him to 2-rock and Fire Blast
Hey.
response. That'll do it. That is game
Woof.
1 for Eli, and now Greg has to go to any potential sideboard tech he might have for the Burn matchup. Though I'll be honest, this is a matchup that is notoriously disrespected in Legacy. Nobody respects Burn, and that is one of the reasons it's quite a good deck.
I have definitely respected Burn in the past, and all of the times that I have things in my sideboard to respect Burn, I never match Burn.
Goyf Blue Blast Cyst, Shrilljack, I like that.
Yeah,
I
those are
think,
both
yeah,
good.
I believe that Sam is in some of the Hive Mindy discussion threads that happened that this deck may have been developed in.
Did Greg just do the power move of jam in the entire
Oh, he
sideboard?
always. That's a Greg Mitchell. That's such a Greg Mitchell move.
Classic Greg Mitchell.
Yeah, truly, truly a man who sits down to duel, not
Oh,
just
yeah.
to play Magic, but to duel another human being.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's. When I did play my stupid Shared Fate deck, he always had the most fun playing against it.
Oh,
Because,
for sure.
Because it's all about like forcing the opponent to make really weird lines,
Yeah.
and he loves finding weird
Yeah.
lines. It's
Yeah.
part of what makes him a really good player.
Greg Mitchell will sometimes throw games just to find weird lines, not intentionally, mind you, but I have seen him go too deep in order and just go right past what you should do to do something crazy.
Ooh, yeah. So here's a question: Legacy debate for Burn players: Skewer the Critics or Rift Bolt?
I think, to my knowledge, the answer is literally neither. Oh wait, no, sorry. I was thinking Skewer the Critics or Light Up Rift
Up
Bolt.
Stage.
Rift Bolt. Answer is Rift Bolt.
It's probably Rift Bolt.
Rift Bolt is
Um,
super good for a lot of reasons, some of which I don't even know.
Mhm.
But
It's the fact that Rift Bolt, while it is slow, always costs 1.
yeah, I don't.
Skewer the Critics sometimes costs 1.
I don't know if Skewer is showing up in many Legacy lists. From what I have seen, they are actually relatively set in their construction.
So I've seen people do a 2-2 split.
Interesting.
Or like a partial split between Rift Bolts and Skewer the Critics, because Rift Bolt is the worst lightning bolt that they have.
Yeah, but I still kind of think it's baseline better than Skewer. I don't know, man.
It's baseline, it's better than Skewer, but Skewer's upside is way better.
That's fair, I suppose. Just the fastness of it. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so in my discussion, especially we're talking with people like Garth Brewery, who's one of our like local Legacy burn heads. He hasn't changed his list for Legacy that much at all. I don't think he's found a cut basically.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, needed Fire Blast just to use Skewer and hope to draw lands. Yes, I mean, yeah, you know.
That's a dog.
Yeah, cute dog just walked by. Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry that you can't see it.
Yes.
Not sorry that I pointed it out.
Yeah. If the dog walks back, we may.
What about
have-
light up the stage? Again,
Mm.
so light up the stage is showing up in a blue-red build and not in mono-red.
It's also taking a spot in Ruby Storm.
Yeah. So here's the thing about light up the stage in like regular burn. Flipping Price of Progress means your opponent knows to play around it. Flipping Fire Blast means just awkward city for days.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't seem that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps. So light up the stage is good if you are in burn. If you are playing, you've got a creature in
It's
play
just lightning
that can
strike
hit.
with slight upside most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Very well said.
It's because it's only useful if you're already hitting for damage, and you're out of cards in hand, and you can still like reliably connect to be able to cast it cheap.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of ands that make it not as good.
All right. I think Eli's mulliganing here.
I believe so.
Same for Eli Dolo. Flipping Force feels pretty good. Yeah, or days. Yeah, absolutely. Flipping Force is like probably the least bad out of all of those, because like making your opponent play around Force of Will is like not that big of a difference than them playing around it theoretically. Ooh, nothing for Eli. So this is maybe the way that Greg Mitchell can steal a game is if Eli's hands just don't line up and he has to go down to 5 cards, and that's just not enough.
Did you say his pants just don't line up or his plans don't line up?
Oh, I said hands.
Okay, that makes even more sense.
Yeah. But if anyone heard anything else, you can imagine whatever you like.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the versions of Blue Red Delver that are not running Light Up the Stage are more consistent. They seem to be more consistent. They seem to harken me. They seem to be closer to old Grixis Delver to me, where they're just playing like the best version of the tempo game that they can.
Yeah. My favorite use, by the way, for Thunderous Wraths is in Vial Smasher control.
Yes.
Grixis Vial Smasher control
Hard agree.
because then you can just flip a Thunderous Wrath and hit your opponent for 11 damage for 1 red.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's a sweet one. Vial
beautiful.
Smasher. That's a sweet one.
Yep. All right, we got a Rift Bolt suspended, but Greg locking in a Baleful Strix. Now the question will remain to be seen. I think Eli's going to go face with the Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because the Strix, like...
He didn't play a guide on turn 1, right?
Yeah,
It's
he doesn't
pretty
have...
likely he doesn't have one.
Or if he does, he'll plan for the multiple. Hey, there's a Skewer the Critics.
Hey, all right, here we go. So Eli is trying out Skewer the Critics.
And so this is one of the cases where like a combination is good.
Yeah.
Because you get to use the Rift Bolt for the free cast, and then, hey, you've got a... you have
That
an
is
extra bolt.
For sure not a spike.
Yeah.
That is definitely a Skewer. Gotcha. No, it's all good.
Good on you for admitting you're wrong on the internet.
I've played
That's brave
mono
of
red
you.
on Arena
Yep.
way too much to not know what that card looks like.
Yep. I play a super sweet arena deck with Emergency Powers, Smothering Tithe, and Niv Mizzet.
I hate Niv Mizzet. I'm not gonna lie.
It's such a dumb.
I usually snap concede if my opponent successfully untaps with it.
Yeah.
If I don't have an immediate answer or removal spell, and I don't draw one, and then they untap, I'm just done.
Yeah.
I will not play Magic against this.
So there's Leovold, which the no drawing is not going to help a whole ton, but drawing but Greg getting to draw every time he's targeted with a bolt is going to be a huge help.
So, like, Greg is definitely taking advantage of Eli's mulligan and also just Eli being on the draw.
Yeah.
Even though he's, still has the greedy mana base, these cards are really buying him all of the advantage he needs to stay in the game. Now, if Eli just goes like runner, Price of Progress in a few turns, still maybe not great for Greg.
Yeah.
But when we're talking real bad matchups, this is how Greg can potentially stay in and win.
And as predicted by chat,
Yep.
Goyf.
Stabilizing at 12 life with a Tarmogoyf in play is how the mid-range deck beats Burr.
Yep. There's instant sorceries,
That
lands,
said, we've got
creatures.
we've got 9 out of 12 in hand right now.
Yeah.
So, oh wait, that was graveyard. Excuse me.
Yeah.
We have. Excuse me. We have a little bit.
Price. There's a Price of Progress.
So we need another mountain.
Yeah.
We have Price Mountain. Wow. Or Price Fire Blast.
Oh, those are Fire Blast?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh no, that's Firecraft. That's not Price.
Oh, that is Exquisite Firecraft. You're right. Yep.
Yeah, this is almost even better. Not even better, but
It's still good.
what is Check Pile? Check Pile is a 4-color control deck that is named as such because the player who originally put up results with it is a Czech Magic player.
He
forget
had
his
a
name.
different name for it, but everyone in
Yeah.
the English-speaking world called it Check Pile.
It's 4-color control. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, it started getting called for if like a big event, Star City would call it 4C control.
Yeah.
It's really just
Pick boring
Jund.
names.
It's Legacy Jund,
It's Jund plus blue.
which is Legacy Jund.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
everything but white.
Thomas Meyer. There we go.
That's the guy, yes.
Yep. Just the best cards from 4 colors and the idea that you will outplay your opponent.
Yeah. Because it's like, hey, I want to play Leovold and Baleful Strix, and
So greedy.
Yeah.
And the important thing to provide context for if you're newer to the format is that this used to be a deck that was tied together by Deathrite Shaman.
yes.
Deathrite Shaman being a black bird of paradise meant that this deck was actually quite easy to run for being a 4-color mid-range deck. And ever since Deathrite Shaman got banned, people have gravitated back towards Grixis or even tried to make Sultai work. And it has taken Tim Wilder this long, apparently, to come up with an acceptable mana base for this deck.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the guys that was playing all the Check Pile when
Oh,
when
yeah.
Deathrite Shaman was legal.
It's also the fact that, no, not quite yet. Sorry, I was just thinking, I was forgetting that Eli didn't have a Price of Progress in hand. But the other thing also that has changed a bit is Assassin's Trophy is being run more and more. And so mana bases are all shifting to have a few more basics than they used to.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I think one of the big weaknesses of 4-color control or Check Pile right now is its weakness to Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah, it's a 2 basic deck. It cannot operate on more than those 2.
Eli with 4 mountains and double Fire Blast in
Yeah,
hand?
he's just waiting. He's just waiting for the right moment.
Yep.
And this is what I love about Eli as a player too, is he is very good at poker face.
I think he punches it now, though.
Yeah. Fire Blast you?
Yep, Fire Blast in response to the Brainstorm.
Fire Blast.
Fire Blast in response still. Ooh. Oh, he did have one. But one sec, that's how much mana is that? Because there's
Eli has 4 mana floating.
Yeah, Brainstorm, Blast, Fluster.
Pay for all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, pay for all of them.
That'll do. Wait, right? Yeah. Wow, he can pay. That was good stuff.
Woof.
That was a good. And you know what? Listen, that was round 4.
That was round 4. That was
a quick one, but that was a good way to end the night.
That was a solid.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Greg bringing a very greedy deck, going 3-0 all the way to the finals. And the only thing that can really keep this powerful collection of cards in check is fire.
Yeah, in
Red
check.
hot fire.
In check.
Let it come to them. Let it come to them.
Okay.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm trying.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least last year someone took down one
Punishing
of our...
Pile is always nice as well. Yeah, that's shouts out to Chase,
Yeah.
who I do not know, but who used to be a local player before I started playing Legacy.
Oh, yeah.
Strifo on MTGO.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Chase Hansen. He top aided 2015's GP.
Yeah. So,
how many players tonight? Not that many.
let's
28 it looks like.
No,
27?
we had 34.
Oh, 34 at the start.
Maybe 35.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the low 30s.
Yeah, which is light for us and pretty high for most other Legacy weeklies. So a fun thing to keep in note, we are incredibly spoiled out here in the best way.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the Northwest Legacy community.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching, you know that we love it, and that is why we bring you Monday nights here.
Yeah, so let's bring it on back to the booth to round out the broadcast here.
Boom, boom.
Yeah. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. This has been a whole lot of fun. It's been all sorts of good times. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, please follow the channel. You'll get notifications when we go live. If you don't want to follow the channel, because we do a lot of non-legacy stuff as well, you can check cardkingdom.com has an event schedule that will show some of the larger events, especially the weekend tournaments, will be cast.
Yeah.
So on the 13th, which is this Saturday, there's the big Legacy 1K, starts at noon, goes till like 8 p.m. There's a cut to top 8. It's going to be, it's a big deal. All the heavy hitters come out in the area, come out for that. Thursdays there's Modern at about the same time slot as us, and Mondays we do Legacy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. If you're not following the channel, then just remember to come here on Mondays. That doesn't seem that hard, right?
No, it's not
remember
that
to do
hard.
one thing every Monday.
I remember to come here every Monday.
I do too. Yeah. All right. See. So
Yeah.
you can type in twitch.tv/Card Kingdom. Everybody, your browser's gonna remember it. You just gotta go /C and you're good, right? Like,
Exactly.
Exactly. There better not be any other C Twitch channels involved here. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Hopefully not. Anyways, thank you for joining us here. I've been Patrick Daly.
Yeah, I've been Jake McCune. Thank you guys so much. You know where to find us, and we'll be back here next Monday. Tune in on Thursday for Modern, and we love you and we love Legacy.
Yeah.
That's what I always like to say.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Be excellent to each other.